Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ariel Helwani Show!
Back in your life on this Tuesday, October 14th, 2025. Hello again, everyone. I'm Ariel Helwani. Welcome to the program. Welcome inside our New York City studio. Welcome to our 1-year birthday party. Yeah. 1 year old. Or as they say on the streets, 1 year old. We did it. They said it would never happen, Frankie. They never believed in us. They said we were toast. Who, me? But we're still the birthday cake. Yeah. It was exactly a year ago today that Uncrowned officially launched. We kind of launched in August of 2024, but it was on October 14th, 2024. We had our first show. The website went live. We were off and running. And so what a year it has been. Thank you so much to all of you who have been with us. Thanks to the newcomers. Thanks to the people who continue to check us out, who continue to support the cause. And perhaps most importantly, thank you to the great team behind the scenes over here. Thank you to the production team. Thank you to the technical staff here at Yahoo HQ. Thank you to the .com squad as well. I would start naming names, but then I forget one name or two, and now I'm feeling bad and I can't go to sleep and I'm feeling guilty. And so you know who you are. Thank you so very much. It's been a great first year. A lot more to come, a lot more to do, a lot more to accomplish, a lot more on our minds, a lot more in our hearts and souls. But I'd say it's been a pretty damn good first year. Even Frank showed up for the birthday party. Took the day off yesterday, but he's back. He's back with us today.
Happier than ever. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's good to have you here because yesterday was a crazy day on the program. We had a guy pour water on his face, almost ruined our microphone. You actually did text us the code word. We're still unsure. We're still unsure who told you, but you did it. And so well done to you. Did you watch all 4.5 hours?
No, I just watched the bits that are the most interesting to me.
Okay, well, you got the microphone bit. You got the
outro.
The outro. Did you get the dancing bit with Marab?
I'm not gonna lie to you, Ariel. Of course I did.
Okay, because I was thinking of you in that moment. I wasn't speaking into the mic at all times, but it was just so much joy. There was so much excitement in the air as I was the one to inform Merab Dvalishvili, the reigning defending UFC men's bantamweight champion. I was the one to tell him that he'll be headlining the final UFC on ESPN pay-per-view on December 6th in Las Vegas, UFC 323. He had no idea, and at first I thought he was kind of playing. At first I thought that he was working me. But come to find out, speaking to him and his team, that, they threw their name in the hat, but they did not know until Dana White announced it. And when Dana White announced it, Merab was sitting here, and so I informed him of the news. I broke the news to him. It's one of the all-time great moments. On the 364th day of Uncrowned, we were able to have this moment with the great Merab Dvalishvili. In case you missed it like Frank did, here's what happened. We have breaking news right now because Dana White just went on Instagram. They're telling me in my ear, and he just announced that you are the main event of Look how happy he is. Look at that.
How do we do it?
Now, he didn't want to dance with me for some reason.
Don't show that.
This,
main event of UFC.
I was trying.
I don't know.
Why?
How's the dance? What's your dance? You have a dance.
My dance?
What's your dance?
He doesn't know the dance.
Okay.
What happened here? Merab got stage fright. A little shy.
Come in front of the desk.
They're telling me to go in front of the desk now.
I want to know the Merab dance. You're the main event of UFC. You're going to be 4 title defenses in 2025. Never before has this happened.
Dance. I'm so excited.
You have a dance.
You show me that.
What is the word?
I'm doing jumping jacks.
I mean, there is like.
What happened? We've never seen Merab falter.
You're shy.
Theories, actually.
You're not shy. I see you with everyone. With Nina Drama. You're not shy.
No, you are.
I'm impressed by your dance, to be honest.
I was working.
Bantamweight champion for successful.
Then I tried to save it.
Marab, you got shy on me there. What happened?
I don't know.
What do you mean the dance?
You just told me the fight news.
I'm excited.
Hopefully we have
this
the-
Has never happened.
I
Yeah,
just
there
feel
it
bad
is.
about our horrible dancing, Marab. We have to do like this.
Let's go, brother.
Here it is.
Let's go.
Da, 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 da. Yeah, now we're at a wedding.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yes, that's the Marab we know. Yes.
Yes. The pride of Georgia. The pride of Tbilisi.
Can't stop him now.
The pride of the bantamweight division. Yes. December 6th, UFC 323, T-Mobile Arena, main event,
And some
4
special
title
moves.
defenses in 2025, rematch against 50% Piotr Jan. Yes, Co-main look at this event, guy.
Pantoja Van.
What a guy.
Oh,
Wait,
yes.
we're not done. We're not done. Please sit
I was
down.
gonna shake your hand.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited, bro.
I'm excited.
I was excited.
I think we made it happen.
He's
I
so
think
wholesome.
Dana saw you on the show and said, you know what? I want to give him a gift on the show.
Amazing.
So great.
Another nod to your relationship blossoming again with Dana White, as far as I'm concerned. He knew he was on the show, and he
did
was
it for
like,
us.
you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to announce this while he's on Ariel's show to show Ariel how much he means to me. Now, I will say, I do have a theory about Marab's initial reaction.
Okay.
He doesn't understand that Dana's offering you this olive branch. He doesn't understand I'm going to do this while he's on Ariel's show. And as you say, he doesn't know about this. So when you say it to him, he's initially so happy, right? And then he starts going, hang on, is this real? Has it actually come from official UFC channels? Or is Ariel trying to get me to react to this on his show? And then it hasn't really gone out there.
Wow.
So I think that's why he's freezing up. And then he realizes, gets the phone. There's a situation where you're like, do you want to get your phone? I think at that stage, he's like, no, this is real. And that's when he...
Oh, you know what? That actually makes sense. I don't even know if he actually looked at his phone, because when he came back, I'm there dancing, or at least trying to get him to dance. So I don't know if he actually looked at it. He had 2 phones. That is confirmed. What do they say? One for the plug and one for the something? I don't know. Anyway, it was a great moment. The vibes were high. We were heading into our first birthday party. By the way, kids love birthday parties. That's why I brought my kids today. My kids are in the back, Pizzi, over there. They're looking for you. They're looking for Unc Pizzi back there. How are they
I don't live
behaving?
there.
Are they behaving?
I forgot they were here.
Okay, they're that quiet.
They're super
Actually-
quiet.
All three Helwani's in the house.
Yeah.
I told.
They actually said that when Pizzi showed up on the screen, and they said, "Is that Hunk Pizzi?"
Yeah. I told them if they even sneeze back there, they're never allowed back. They think they run the place.
They are holding a rubric and are marking things off. Should I be concerned?
No, they're observing. They're observing
Okay,
what
all
everyone's
right,
All
all
about
right.
wearing his Roma.
Yeah, no, he's not wearing it, but I'm sure he
They
appreciates
said you're
it.
aura farming with that jersey, Pizzi.
Wow.
I don't know if it's positive or negative.
We're still not sure. We're still not sure. Anyway, they're back there. We're going to Canada versus Colombia tonight at
sick.
Wow.
Sports Illustrated Stadium. For some reason,
Is that Red Bull?
Yes, they changed it to Sports Illustrated Stadium for some reason. But also, for some reason, Canada is playing Colombia, the men's national team, here in the United States, in New Jersey, to be exact. I'm not sure why. An
World Cup
international-
qualifier?
No, because Canada made it already. They qualify as a
Oh,
host
yeah.
country.
Don't rub it in. Don't rub it in.
I'm just saying, it's a
Don't
great time to see
Brooklyn.
Jonathan David. Great time to see Tejan Buchanan, Alistair Johnson, Luis Diaz over on the Colombian side, Jaimes Rodriguez, I believe is his
Just
name.
a friendly?
It's just an international friendly, yeah, here in Jersey. But I'm excited.
That's some jersey you're wearing there.
Yeah, okay, so
There
I
is.
was getting to it.
There is.
So we leave here, the vibes are high. I'm feeling good. Darby's pouring water on himself. Marab's dancing. Hornswoggle's a delight. I mean, Dylan is an absolute delight. Good show, feeling good. And I'm just saying to myself, what a night. This is like my sports equinox. Jays, Mariners, Thanksgiving evening, Game 2 ALCS at home in Toronto. Bills, Falcons, Monday Night Football, throwback jerseys. And oh, by the way, sprinkle a preseason Knicks game against the sad sack Wizards, not the Warriors, the Wizards. And this is going to be a great night. Leave here, Jays are down 6-3. They end up losing like 10-3. Get home, Bills are down to the Falcons, end up tying it 7-7, and then they never see the light of day. I mean, I still don't know. I still don't understand what that was, GC. Was that you guys just being better than your record, or are we just that bad? I don't know what that was.
I mean, we're only 3-2. Like we're not that bad.
Crap division, crap conference. No one fears you guys.
Baker Mayfield's going to go into Buffalo later this year and teach you guys a lesson.
By the way, probably based on the way we're playing. I mean, I don't know what that was. Is it time to move on from McDermott?
No.
I don't know. No, not from the Bills, but from McDermott. I have maintained that they should have gotten rid of him after the Bengals playoff loss in 2023. And then I thought they were going to get rid of him after the Chiefs playoff loss at home in 2024. And then I really thought that they were going to get rid of him after the Chiefs on the road playoff loss last year, conference championship, and it didn't happen. And so what are we doing? What are we wasting here? What's happening? Anyway.
You would be blowing up your ticket spot with this kind of talk. You know what I mean? Be careful there. All doing great. We love the Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
Woo!
I'm just a little bit upset right now. I'm a little bit upset and a little bit worried, but I still believe. Anyway, and
It's October 14th.
Nick's got whooped as well. Yeah, I know it's October 14th.
Chill out.
A lot of injuries.
We got time.
It's 4-2 against 2. We should be 6-0 against 2. Like that's no. All due respect, I think the Falcons are good, but like the Bills are a better team than the Falcons. Do we not agree?
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, because last night proved otherwise that the Falcons.
And you had to
actually
waltz
better.
in
They've got
here,
some
huh?
savage players. They've got some really.
I thought about rubbing it in more, like on social. I was gonna say something.
Oh no!
I thought I was
you
gonna
rubbed
be
it
like-
in plenty.
I thought it was.
You hit me on the tweets. You hit me in the comments. You hit us on the Instagram. You showed up on the thing.
I typed up. I was like,
this
well,
guy, all of a
well,
sudden.
at least the Blue Jays won.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, you
no, it was a
know,
lot.
he's
don't
hurting
worry.
a little too much
Don't worry.
already.
Someone actually sent it to me, and they're like, "What's up with this?" I mean, like, what's I was like, "Listen,
What's up with what, man?
each his own." I mean, it's a lot of rubbing it in. That's fine. We'll remember this.
It
Don't
was
worry.
pretty cold-blooded. Even
No,
the
no.
message group.
No, well,
Helwani said congrats.
Yeah, I was trying to be the bigger man. I said the congrats. I get a fucking dirty bird. Fucking come on.
By the way, I fell asleep early. I woke up
it's
to all these.
great.
It was great. I wook up at 4 a.m. looking at the text thread. I was like,
No.
oh, wow.
No,
All right.
I tried to be the bigger man. I didn't say like, oh, this, that, and I get hit on the text. I get hit on the freaking tweet. I get hit with the jerseys. How much more freaking jerseys are you going to be wearing this week? And let's see who's on the back there. It's not the guy who kills dogs, is
Bijan.
it? It's not the guy who kills dogs on the back of that
Bijan.
jersey. Okay.
It is Vic,
Okay, it's the Pitbull guy.
Atlanta legend.
Wow, shame on you.
Reformed, rehabilitated man.
Shame
who
on you.
re-entered the NFL and had a successful second career. Now finds himself as a coach, mentoring young men.
Oh yeah.
I'm a
Yao
man
Ming?
for.
What a Renee.
I'm a man for second chances.
Yeah, sure. You have to take a piece of tape and put Robinson back there. That would be more appropriate.
He is amazing, isn't he?
Unbelievable.
He is just-
That overhead cam of the
Sure.
81-yard touchdown.
Oh yeah, it was wonderful. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I just watched him
We'll go
even
double or
show.
nothing on Nick's house.
See, but this is why when we were having this conversation last week, like, what is this joy? You say it brings you joy. Does it bring you joy?
There's no joy.
I don't
There's actually
There's no joy.
There's no joy.
Never.
There's no joy. I went to bed saying to myself, like, what's the point of all this? What's the point?
Life
We gotta-
in
we gotta
general
do
or
something.
watching
Point of all this?
sports?
We gotta do something.
I actually told my kids, I said, I have led you down the best path possible. All of our teams have made it to the conference championship of their respective league, right? In the past 365, Bills made it to the conference championship. Jays have made it to the ALCS. Knicks made it to the conference finals. But then it ends in heartbreak. And so the question is it better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all? And I'm not sure. Better to be,
The loss.
yeah, I guess it's better to be in the mix, but like,
Sometimes it's not, though.
I'm just
Sometimes you want to be basement or ceiling.
I'm lowering my expectations.
That's where I'm at.
I think my problem is I keep saying, I just want one. I just want one. I just want one. I think that's the problem. It's going to happen. Let's just
You're just
stop
going to let
putting-
it happen.
let's-
Don't force
let's
it.
You
stop
don't realize
putting
how tasty
so
it is when you
much,
get one.
so much pressure. We're putting too much pressure
Yes.
on each other's
I
shoulders.
agree.
But it's okay. It's okay. Enjoy your Super Bowl in October. It's okay. It's okay. I love when people
You
do that.
can't. I was gonna say you keep saying this. You're lobbing yourself up for the. Okay, if that was the Super Bowl, then now the Bills are 0-5 in Super Bowls.
Oh, wow. Also, you can't simultaneously.
That's disgusting.
You
right there. I mean, you
can't-
should be ashamed of yourself.
You lobbed yourself
That's
up to it. You
disgusting.
threw the hoop to
It was a
yourself.
Super Bowl
bro.
for you, not for us.
Let me
okay?
make a real point, though. You can't say to him, enjoy your October Super Bowl, but then take this October loss so seriously. If it's October, it's October. You'll get over it. It's October. It's October 14th. Who cares? Like, we've got
When's
a
the
lot
trade
of
deadline?
season to play.
The sky is falling, Rick. The
No,
sky is
it's
falling.
not.
Deadline.
It's not.
It's
The
actually
Bills are going to
falling.
be absolutely
I actually
fine.
feel like it's falling.
Do you have the MVP or not? Do you have the MVP
We
on
have
your
the
team?
MVP. I don't know
All right,
what
so-
was going on
So
yesterday.
let's
Wasn't a great
chill
game.
out. Let's chill
Jay's
out.
down 0-2 going back to Seattle. What is that?
That's tough.
What is that?
Yeah, I do have to
Talk
say,
AJ
like,
Brown.
shout out to the
It's
Bills,
tough.
how good they are. I've never seen this much love on the timeline for the Falcons in a long while.
Yeah, because everyone wants to beat the king. I get it. And everyone's enjoying beating us. Even though we're the most lovable franchise there is, and even though we have suffered long enough, everyone's enjoying beating us. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, you know what? We dreamed of this. We dreamed of this.
Yes.
When's the first Knicks-Hawks game?
I still think you're going to be in the Super Bowl, mate. Like, you need to calm down. Like, this is still, like, if you looked up the odds right now, I'm sure.
For the
Bills are
record,
top 3.
I'm not jumping off the bandwagon. I'm feeling a little bit sad. That's all.
Oh, wow.
That's all right.
Knicks,
You're allowed to know.
Knicks-Hawks play twice this year, 27th of December and then January 2nd. It's almost like a back-to-back.
Yeah.
That'll be the bowl.
Hawks
That'll
are good
be
this year,
exciting.
Hawks are going to be good this year.
I can't wait
gonna
for you
be
to say
all right.
before the game that you don't care about the Hawks, but then when they win, you show up with like a Dikembe Mutombo jersey.
I will have
Yeah.
a Dikembe Mutombo jersey on.
Bud Webb.
and,
Yeah.
uh,
That boy.
and a
You just
Trae Young
represent.
jersey.
You have to let the man represent.
You got to support the city, man.
Sure.
Support the city.
I
I didn't see that Blue Jays jersey come out to the playoffs start.
No, what? We've had Blue Jay stuff here. We filmed an actual Blue Jays hype
These are
video
gonna-
from
these are
this
gonna have a
chair
fist fight.
in
This is
March.
Blue
We
Jay
filmed the
stuff, man.
Blue Jays. What do we? Right here.
I think
There's
this is
another
I think
little
this is
guy
a Blue Jay
on the
model,
table,
not
too.
an actual Toronto's Blue Jays one.
Toronto's Blue Jays. What are you talking about?
You just have a Blue Jays figurine.
Yeah, I've got the
Yeah.
actual Toronto Blue Jay. We have Vladdy right over there in the corner. We have Bo Bichette right over there in the other corner.
There's another little Blue Jay
Banished to
figure
the
on the
corner.
other side somewhere too,
Yeah,
buried
yeah.
there.
There's somewhere. There's some guy. I don't know.
There's a little Blue Jay.
Don't hit me with that. All right. I'm doing hype videos for
Everyone
the
calm
team.
down. Everyone calm down.
Guys, it's a great day on the program, despite all these shenanigans. We've
Why?
got
Because Frank's
4
back.
Frank is back. Yes, kids are here, so everyone please.
Long overdue vacay for Frank.
Let's
So
be careful
overdue,
about
man.
the swearing. Mikey Musumeci is going to join us. Darth Rigatone coming off his win at UFC BJJ 3 just a couple of weeks ago. He is the UFC BJJ bantamweight champion. He defeated Kevin Carrasco via first round heel hook. And he's a great character, and I'm looking forward to talking to him. Paulie Malignaggi, it's been a long time since we spoke to the Magic Man. How about that one, Pizzi? He's returning this weekend to bare-knuckle boxing. BKB, his first fight of any kind since the infamous Artem Lobov fight back in 2019.
That's a UK
44-year-old.
promotion, right? The
Yeah.
bare knuckle promotion in the UK. Yeah, they're really, really popular. Do they fight in a triangle shape?
BKB 47 in Leeds. It's called Leeds Brawl 2 in a little like thing like that.
triangle thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's interesting.
He does some commentary for them as well with Mike Goldberg.
He's an endlessly entertaining man.
Yes.
I guarantee he will have some spectacular things to say to you when he's on the show.
I do believe in his first chat since the loss to Marab, Cory Sandhagen will be joining us at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And we'll round out the interviews today with Ian Machado Garry, who, of course, we know by now is fighting on the 22nd of November in Qatar on that big card headlined by Arman Sarukian versus Dan Hooker. Those two fights, I mean, are amazing. Ian Garry versus Belal Muhammad is a very, very, very important fight at 170 pounds. That's a tremendous 4-pack of guests. And, of course, the main event on the 22nd of November is a very, very important one as well. That's Dan Hooker versus Arman Sarukian. When that Ian Garry fight was announced, I thought to myself, if Ian's not fighting for the belt, it's got to be Ian Garry versus Sean Brady. And in the end, they went with Ian Garry versus Belal Muhammad, and we found out yesterday it is, in fact, as we hinted on the show last week, if you may recall, Sean Brady versus Michael Morales, Madison Square Garden, November 15th, UFC 322. This is interesting to me. PT, why didn't they do Brady versus Garry, Morales versus Muhammad?
I feel like the thing I'm going to say to you here is counterintuitive because it's the situation applies to Morales as well. I would have figured if they weren't going to match those two guys together, it's because they have two guys that they want to feed into these championship situations. But it's exactly the same thing with Morales. I feel like that is the toughest fight to sign for if you are in Brady or Ian's situation. And that's not to take away from the fact that Belal is the archetypal opponent that people want to see against. Garry, it's very similar to McGregor in that respect. Like, oh, well, if he has a dominant wrestler, a guy who's primarily a wrestler, how's he going to do? That's a serious question that he needs to answer. I think he's going to be equal to it. But yeah, that's my feeling as well. Morales, though, terrifying. A guy who just looks absolutely huge for the division. A guy who is putting dudes away, frightening power. I would kind of put him in the same spot as we had Shavkat in there a little while ago when it was like, that is the guy to avoid. Fair play to Brady for taking that. I honestly don't understand the logic because I feel like that's the guy who can derail a championship run, which Brady and Gary are on at the moment.
Can we just talk about this New York card for a second? This New York card is an absolute stellar lineup. JDM versus Islam Makhachev, main event. We know the stakes, 170. Valentina versus Zhang Wei Li, maybe one of the best women's fights in recent memory, maybe of all time. 125 champion against the 115-pound champion. Leon Edwards versus Carlos Praches. Beneil Dariush versus Benoit Saint-Denis. Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. That's the main card. Not officially announced, but I can't imagine it's not the main card. Also, Aaron Blanchfield versus Tracy Cortez. There's a history there between them. Baisangur Susurkayev, who they're very high on. And then you got, the likes of Bo Nickel versus Adolfo Vieira, Roman Kopylov against Gregory Rodriguez. It's a really good card. Malcolm Wellmaker, also supposed to be on the card, but his opponent, Serhi Sadi, has pulled out due to injury, shoulder dislocation. But you have to think that they always try to showcase some young studs on these MSG cards. And Malcolm Wellmaker, being on this card makes all the sense in the world. I would think that they are going to try hard to keep him on the card. That's a really, really, really good MSG card. A couple times they've gone to MSG and it's felt a little shallow. Not this one. And there's 3 massive welterweight fights on the card. And then if you include the next week's card, 7 days later, Gary and Muhammad, that's pretty much you remember we were saying like there's no fights booked at welterweight? Now it's like all of a sudden almost the top 10 is booked within the span of 7 days, which I kind of dig.
It feels like it always happens that way because you just need the one, right? You get the one and then they're like, okay, I'm not going to get this opponent. We can start looking at what my future looks like. And then they all kind of fall into place. But yes, I am very happy that this division seems to finally have, it had no momentum, then a ton of momentum, and then it went back to no momentum for some reason very quickly, and now it is back. And I love all these matchups. Like these are great fights.
Brady versus Morales is an amazing fight.
Yeah.
But I don't understand the booking. Why are you shaking your head, GC?
I'm just saying it's a G move from Sean Brady for accepting it. He said on his podcast that he essentially had no other choice. It was either this or waiting until next year to fight, and he said fighters fight. I
don't get that, right?
The guy that was on the podcast with him was like, why are you taking this fight? Like, 18-0, super athletic young dude who's down in the rankings. You're the number 1 contender or the number 2 contender, whatever you want to call him. And he's just like, yeah, man, fighters fight. So I'm going to do it. And now he's on MSG. It's a G move by him. It's crazy.
Here's the one thing I'll say to post bail for that. I'd probably rather get a Michael Morales on my resume now than in a year from now. Because in a year from now, this guy might be walking through everybody. So get it while you can. But yeah, I mean, to your point that I think you're kind of alluding to, Ariel, like you're the number 1 contender. You're Sean Brady. This feels like a risk as opposed to like
it should have been
for a fight.
It should have been Brady versus Gary.
It made sense.
Yeah.
And then Morales versus Muhammad. Unless you're worried about,
that's perfect.
putting Morales in a fight like that because he's going to get taken down. I mean, you just booked Payne Talbot versus Henry Cejudo, which is, even in some ways a greater risk.
Yeah, well, you also have to imagine Sean Brady's going to go for the takedowns as well. Yeah, well, I mean, Ian Gary said on his Instagram, he posted that that he got offered the Sean Brady fight and accepted, but his stipulation was he wanted it to be a public number 1 contender fight. And the UFC said they're not willing to commit to that. So I wonder if that's what happened, and then Sean Brady was left with just the Michael Morales fight.
Well, this whole, like, all of the matchmaking at a certain point is like dating, right? Like, yeah, if you can get the supermodel, like, great, but sometimes the supermodel's not available. Sometimes the supermodel wants, Belal and Ian wanted each other, and that's fine. And unfortunately for Sean Brady, that puts you out in the cold. I mean, let us point no further than we're talking about Alex and John having eyes for each other and Tom kind of being the odd man out. Like, this is just the reality of the situation sometimes. Unfortunately, it feels like Brady is higher risk and lower reward than potentially the other names. Like if Belal and Ian link up, it makes a lot of sense. So he's in a tough position, but as Connor said, I respect the hell out of the fact that he's like, you know what? Give me him. I don't care. I don't care that he's tough. I don't care that he's young. I don't care that he's hungry because I'm going to prove that I belong here. So I have a lot of respect for Sean Brady for taking the fight.
Other thing is he's got to get paid. His last fight was in March. And
he has a kid now.
Yeah, he's got to get paid. He's got to fight. That was a long time ago. He didn't get banged up in that fight. When Ian Garry put out that video and said, I will fight Sean Brady if it's a number one contender fight, and they didn't want to guarantee that, I thought to myself, well, they don't really do that anymore. But then, like a week later, Dana White is asked, and I know it wasn't an official announcement, but he was asked point blank, is Tsarukyan and Hooker fighting for the number one contender spot? And he said yes. And so why not? Why not do? Now, there's two theories. Are they waiting for Shavkat to fight? You know, don't forget about him. He's the forgotten man. I'm hearing he's still not 100%, so who knows? And you kind of get the sense like, and correct me if you guys think otherwise, I feel like Praches versus Edwards, they want Praches to win. Morales versus Brady, do they want Morales to win? Is that why they're doing this?
Either way.
And then Gary versus Muhammad, I think they want Gary to win, right? And so I think they want to just see what's the best scenario out of all of these guys. Like, what's the best outcome?
I don't think there's a doom or gloom outcome in any of them. I'll put it that way. Like, I don't think that Belal getting back on track is necessarily bad because, quite frankly, like Belal versus JDM was a hell of a scrap. I know people like are happy to move on from the Belal era now and feel like, okay, we don't have to talk about or deal with Belal anymore. But Belal stood there and traded the hands with JDM for 5 rounds. Like, I wasn't mad about that fight. I think you could do a lot worse than Belal kind of getting back in that picture. I don't think there's any bad outcomes, but I certainly think like the youth and the excitement around Praches and Morales would be good for a division that has kind of felt stagnant for a while.
Belal also really is in a tough spot because if Islam wins, he's claimed that he and Islam will not fight each other. And if JDM wins, it's unlikely he's going to get a rematch with how deep the division is.
I guarantee you all of a sudden Belal is not as good friends with Islam all of a sudden. Guarantee it.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Guarantee you.
I cannot wait to hear what Sean Brady and Ian Garry have to say about all of this. You know?
Well, the good news is Ian on today,
Yeah.
Sean on tomorrow. So that is the good news. The guy I do want to speak to as well is Peyton Talbot. What's the thinking here?
Yeah.
Like, you just got back on track. You started the year with a very disappointing loss. The wrestling was somewhat exposed, right? Maybe it was just an off day. Comes back, gets back on track. And Henry Cejudo is next? Does this not feel too soon?
But Maram said he doesn't train anymore. It's fine. He doesn't wrestle. He's too old. He said lots of
I
things.
know, but it's Henry Cejudo, man. Like, there's a lot of guys in between where Peyton is right now and Henry Cejudo. It's Henry freaking Cejudo.
Well, if he beats him, that'll put him in
So
the top 10.
is that
division.
it? Is that it? It's like,
Is that
risk.
the word on the street? Henry's there for the taking. Let's put in this new superstar who knocks people out with single punches against this aging
Olympic
legend.
gold medalist?
Well, my thing is,
Fair point.
Olympic gold medalist in the facet of the game that Peyton Talbot struggled with earlier this year.
Peyton
Fair
Talbot.
point, lads.
Peyton Talbot is not 21, right? Peyton Talbot is a grown man, and if he wants to be something in this game, there's no better way to get yourself prepared than going, I have an Olympic gold medalist wrestler across from me, and I need to fix that hole in my game. There's going to be no bigger motivation. So if he can come out the other side of this and show improvements even from the last fight, in which he showed improvements from the fight before that, then that would be impressive to me. But I don't think it's like Peyton Talbot has all the time in the world to kind of make something of himself. Put the hardest possible matchup you got in front of you and see if you could conquer that. See if you can prepare yourself and get yourself ready for that. And if you can, then I think it's time to start having a real conversation. But I think it's going to be a very tough fight. I think it's going to be a very tough fight for him.
He was a dog in that Felipe Lima fight. A lot of people were kind of writing him off going into that one, and he had a really nice bounce back performance.
They said he was fraud checked.
Yes.
Oh yeah. The FC claims were coming out on him.
And so that's why I thought, all right, you got a nice win, International Fight Week, get maybe a couple more. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think he's fought a top 15 guy yet, right?
No.
And so now we're fighting Henry. Well, what is Henry? What is Henry right now?
10.
He's 10? Wow.
Yeah.
Henry's 10, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, you've got Eamon Zahabi, Mario Bautista, Marlon Vera. Like, Marlon versus Peyton would have made a lot of sense to me because Marlon's a striker.
Yeah.
You know, he needs a high-profile win, and he's a high-profile name.
Marlon's got you this weekend, though.
No, I know. No, I just mean, like, if you're going to put him in there against a top 10 guy, that would be the guy. Even like a Rob Font at 13.
I guess Cejudo's like he's about to turn 39.
Yeah.
35. He's on a 3-fight losing streak.
Listen, the flip side is he wins that fight, and now we're off, right? Yeah. If he knocks out Henry Cejudo, we're off and running.
Would Cejudo retire after that? I think doesn't he only have like one.
There was a little bit of talk after the Song Yadong fight in February of him retiring, right? I feel like there was some talk that he was going to walk away at that point. So
I think that one's just got to be a bad taste in the mouth to go out on. You know, like that's not the way you want to end the career if you're Cejudo. So I would get this being the last one. Potentially.
Interested to see Henry's trash talk leading up to this one.
Oh, yeah. Has he said anything?
No, I haven't seen anything, but I can imagine.
Yeah.
He'll be on the press conference.
All right. Well, lots of fights, lots of things going on, lots of great guests who are related to said fights. But on Tuesdays these days, we like to answer your questions. So, time now for everyone's favorite segment of the week. It is
It's time for On the Nose.
Oh, what a great question here off the top. How are the kids back there? Are they still behaving? Is everyone okay?
I forgot they're here. Are you guys all right?
They're doing.
They're not even answering.
Okay, there's no punching, there's no kicking.
No, we're getting thumbs up across the board.
Usually what they like to do is one will like tap the other and then the other one will smack the other. And I'm like, why did you have to do that?
Classic.
Because they touched me first, but did you have to elevate it?
Don't touch them first.
Barely Perez says, hello, Ariel. What is your level of concern for the Buffalo Bills? They are 4-2, but all of their wins come against teams with 3 total victories, including my Dolphins. Atlanta, Miami, New Orleans are 1-5. Jets 0-6. Shout out GC. Nice win yesterday. Look, there's always concern. I feel like the sky is falling. I believe in the team. I believe in Josh. As long as we have number 17, I believe in him. But I just want them to fix some mistakes. Here's my biggest takeaway. You need a superstar wide receiver. We don't have that guy. We have solid wide receivers. Khalil Shakir is fine. Josh Palmer got hurt yesterday. Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox are great tight ends, but you need a wide receiver one. You need that guy. Keon Coleman, is he that guy? I don't know if he's that guy just yet. And I think that's missing. You guys have Drake London. You go to him and he delivers.
Drake London, Bijan.
Yeah, well, Bijan's the running back. I'm just saying, we need a star wide receiver. We don't have that guy. We don't have that alpha male. Diggs last week was an alpha male.
When's the trade deadline?
I'm alpha.
End of October, I think.
We need to sort something out here.
I appreciate
AJ Brown's unhappy at the Eagles. Let's have a chat. You know what I mean? Let's see what's happening. What's the cap space like? You know what I mean?
Make things happen. Joe Mers. Hi, Ariel. If Connor and Chandler doesn't happen at the White House, where will it land on the list of the following pullouts / cancellations of Connor's career? Boxing versus Logan Paul. Was this even really a thing? It was discussed, but then the kibosh was put on it. So, it never really got off the ground. RDA at 196. My take on RDA at 196 is there was no heat between RDA and Connor. It was all about Connor going for the second belt after knocking out Jose Aldo. So I don't feel like people look back on the RDA fight like, man, we really missed out on that one. Agree or disagree, PT?
Blessing in disguise, actually, to consider that the Diaz,
sure,
the 2 Diaz,
but you know what I mean? The story of that fight wasn't because there's some history between Connor and RDA. It was all about Connor going for the second belt. Yeah,
the cancellation was a good thing.
Andy Ogle in Boston. Where did he go? Good question.
Andy Ogle.
Yeah, remember that?
Andy Ogle.
Do you remember Andy Ogle was supposed to be the Boston opponent? He gets injured.
I remember.
In enters Max Holloway. But what happened to Mr. Andy Ogle, the
Did
little
he fight
axe?
Mr. Finland, Amir Khani?
Makwan Amir Khani.
In his debut or something?
No, not debut. That was his 1, 2.
Not Andy Ogle's, Amir Khani's debut.
Oh, yeah. He had a 4-fight losing streak, which culminated with the loss in January of 2015 to Makwan Amir Khani and has not fought since. So he hasn't fought in almost 11 years. But still, I don't know if that's a what-if fight.
None of these fights are what-if fights. Can I just be honest?
He's got one more. Which actually the build was fun for this one. You could probably guess. Cole Miller in Dublin. And he says, my favorite segment in MMA Hour history. Do you remember we had them on at the same time? And Cole was great. I was more into the Cole fight than the Diego Brandao fight.
It didn't matter who was in there.
No.
It did not matter.
But to be honest, Chandler would probably top all of these, right? Just because we've talked about it for so long.
But it's also yeah. Let's just leave it there.
Yeah. All right.
Sick beat, man.
Okay, this is an interesting one from Abdul2604, because I've gotten this question now a lot in the last hour. Hey, Ariel and crew. This is fitting with Mikey Musumeci on the show today. However, I wanted to get your thoughts on the UFC BJJ 3, view count controversy on YouTube. It's very blatant that the views have been botted. However, how can the UFC feel so freely to do this? Even though BJJ is on Fight Pass, I'm sure views and engagement will come up in corporate earning calls. Okay, so what's the story here? The story here is, if I've seen, because people have sent me screen grabs, that the UFC BJJ 3 event on YouTube had like tens of thousands of views, and then it shot up to 9 million. Is that it, GC?
Yeah, I think it was at like 270K views when the event ended. Obviously, you got to wait for views to come in and everything, but it's now sitting at 9 million. It's been sitting at 9 million for a few days. You would think something that had been posted only for like 12 days would continue to rise, but I tend to lean with these people when it comes to the engagement around it as well. There's only 300 comments and there's only 9K likes, which is similar to a video with 10% of the views on the UFC's channel. Also, the post-fight press conference has 10K views. That just doesn't really add up. You would think if there's that many people that want to see the matches, they would want to see the post-fight presser to see what the people have to say as well. And then I think the Musumeci match was clipped out and only has like 60K views. I don't know. It just feels odd how many views it has.
The one thing I will say is I would be very dubious that the UFC did it. I don't think the UFC would do it.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is something that we've learned recently because we had a guest on our show, not going to name any names, where it was insinuated that views were being bought for videos that they were featured in.
James Tahuno?
No, not him. But maybe so. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, we caught wind of this and we decided to take down this video because it was said to us that YouTube can essentially ding your channel if it views like nefarious activities were going on, right? And so is it possible? Look, I'm just going to throw out the conspiracy. Is it possible someone did this to the video to then say, hey, look at these guys, look at what they're doing? Like, what does it cost to add 9 million views to a video? And then what does it cost on the streets to then say, look at these fugazis, they're buying views for their videos? I don't think that that's a crazy thought.
I would find that more believable than the UFC all of a sudden, who
what do they care?
You can also just look at their channel. Like, they just don't do it, right? They're happy with their view. Like, they don't live and die by their views on these things. Like, as an example, right? Every time there's a new pay-per-view week, everybody's looking at the embedded numbers and like, oh, this embedded is only doing this and this and that. They could have had so many opportunities to kind of juice numbers and do that if they wanted to do that. They've never done it. I would be very reluctant to think that they all of a sudden for this one UFC BJJ did this. It just doesn't make sense to me. There's higher stakes, higher leverage opportunities to have done that in the past, and they never did.
Yeah, I agree with y'all. Why wouldn't they have done it for BJJ too?
Also, did it premiere on YouTube or is it a Fight Pass thing?
I think they live streamed it.
Okay. There's like this weird the BJJ community is an interesting bunch, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, they are it is an interesting subset of the martial arts community. What was that?
I just had something in my throat. But 270,000 people. They should be.
By the way, 270K.
Yeah, 270,000
yeah.
people.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
It's crazy that many people watch BJJ, if I'm being honest. You know what I mean?
I mean, BJJ 2 did 1.4 million views.
Oh, wow.
Did it though?
Did it though? That's a good question. Did it though? Here's Aaron. Hello, Mr. Helwani, sir. Mr. Answer in there. 2 quick questions. It's great to see AEW talent on your program. We, of course, remember a time where you and Tony were not on good terms. Is it safe to say the bridges have been fixed and it's all good again? I do believe so. And I'm very, very happy about that. And as I've said before, my MO is we don't have to all be best friends, but I would love to have respect and would love to have people on the program. And, I don't love when people are told that they can't come on the show and all this nonsense. Actually, this happened quite recently regarding another entity that I won't get into because we're working on resolving that as well. Not in the wrestling world, just for the record. And so, people get upset. People say this, people say that. I always hope that, we can move on and learn from things. And I have regrets about that, about the way all of that was handled. and what frustrates me about that is that I think people think that I'm some sort of like, TKO employee. Far from it. If you know the history here, far from it. If you've looked at the guest list over the past year, there ain't been that many from WWE for whatever reason. And so that's why I love having the TNA guys on. That's why I'm happy to have the AEW guys on. Any legends, indie guys, people who have left. I just want to have the best show, and I just want to have the best and most interesting conversations. And if you know, as I've said to people behind the scenes, if you know anything about us here, we're always trying to shine a spotlight on the others, on the competition. We're always campaigning and championing having options for the wrestlers, for the fighters, for the boys in the back, because that's better for everyone. That makes for a better product. That makes for competition, which leads to negotiation leverage, which means that guys are able to get paid more. And I often talk about the rising tide lifts all boats theory, and I feel like that has proven to be the case with what's happened to wrestling over the past 6, 7, 8 years. We had that misunderstanding, whatever you want to call it. I was upset about the tweet. He was upset about that. I was frustrated with the interview. He was upset. But I think we've moved on. I'm happy to see that we've moved on, and I would love to have him on the show. And I would love to prove that we don't take sides. We're just trying to cover the sport the way in which we cover it here, which is, I think, just having good conversations. As I've always said, I don't consider myself a wrestling journalist. I think that we have great conversations with wrestlers. We'll have Diamond Dallas Page in studio tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. But we're not here talking about like what happened on Monday Night Raw yesterday. We're not here talking about the ratings or the backstage stuff unless it pertains to someone sitting right there. And I think there's value in that. I used to watch a show called Off the Record with Michael Landsberg on TSN, and he used to do the same thing. Like, he didn't talk about the ins and outs of pro wrestling, but he would have major wrestling figures: The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon. He would have all these people on there, and he would have great out-of-character interviews. And I always thought that was phenomenal. We try to do that. Others do it in a very good way as well. But there's really no... I'm really not rooting for anyone. I'm rooting for everyone. And I'm just trying to showcase these personalities. Like, Darby's a fascinating guy. That is a very unique, fascinating guy. And I love to learn more about these people. So yes, I do think that we have moved past that, and I'm very happy about that. And I do think that there have been some people behind the scenes that have vouched for us, and they know who they are, and I appreciate that as well. He also says, I've also noticed a lack of current WWE talent. Has this work with AEW and the Dana connection to TKO affected your ability to get WWE talent on your program? No. The AEW thing just happened. I honestly don't know. If I'm being 1,000% honest with you guys, I don't know. We've had Paul Heyman on. We've had Natty Neidhart on. We had Gunther on. We might have had one more this year, but I could be wrong about that. And so, I don't think that there's a ban per se. It's just, things come and go. Things go in waves. And I love having them on, and hope in the future we could do that as well. Josh P. Hi, Ariel. Wondering if we can open up the discussion about Dana White versus Eddie Hearn and their promoting. Could we just talk? I mean, what a time. Eddie came in last week, and I felt like he wanted to. I was paying respects. I was talking Dave Allen. I was talking Boots Ennis. PT, I felt like he was itching to talk about Dana.
Oh, it's so funny that you kind of had this thing at the start where you're like, listen, I don't want people to feel like I'm pitting you against each other. Absolutely no one feels that way. These two lads, and it's very exciting. You did a lot of exciting things last week. You had your predictions for 2026, but this might be the most exciting. And I see a lot of people are getting tribal about this, which only adds to the excitement for me, honestly. But we were talking about this on the Crack on Friday. Chuck is adamant that this could actually bring back the Dana White of old.
Oh, yeah.
If someone is stepping to him on the playground,
1,000%.
like, actually, I'm the biggest dog in this yard, that is going to light a fire under Dana. This boxing thing, if he gets into MMA, I mean, Honestly, I feel like MMA needs it. I feel like we need Eddie Hearn to just show up and rattle a few.
Okay, so there's a lot there, PT. There's a lot there. Do you think he is genuinely interested in getting in MMA, or do you think this was his tit for tat? Like, hey, you're talking about being the man in boxing. Well, what if I come to your world and rattle your cage? I'm not quite sure. You think it'd be both? Okay.
I think it is. This is the motivating factor for him to get into MMA. If you want to come in here and show how everyone how my sport is broken, how about I come in here and do this? And man, the amount of fighters that reached out to me after that interview, and particularly the clip that you put out about revenue sharing and things like this.
Oh yeah,
this is working. I don't want to say it's working against the UFC right now, but if you think about it, this is a major part of the conversation that really hasn't been for a long time. It's been something that we're all aware of. It's always in the zeitgeist, the fighter pay. But has there ever been a time where people are just so blatantly speaking about this? Like Eddie Hearn is on the attack there. We saw Dana White getting that question, questioned about this in the lead up to the Crawford and Canelo fight. I spoke to Mick Conlon about it. Like it's kind of becoming the war cry of the boxing world, as far as I'm concerned. This revenue split thing. So I wonder if Dana anticipated it to be for people to be this vocal about it, because I feel when this was announced, people were almost like, it almost felt like some people were like, this is an open goal for Dana and Turkey. I feel like boxing is coming out swinging, and what better way for Eddie Hearn to come out swinging than to join the MMA world for a little bit? Just even if it is just to piss off Dana White a bit, I'm all for it.
Here's the bottom line, and I think we can all agree on this. In terms of gift of gab, he's never had a sparring partner like Eddie, right? And one who's not going to shy away, and one who can match or even exceed his passion. And so Eddie, everything that Eddie is saying is accurate. Hey man, I'm the king here. At least I think so. At least I believe so. You're coming. Let's fight. And he's right when he says, if I said the same stuff about MMA, he would feel the same. Now, maybe he wouldn't be as open. Look, I think Eddie is smart enough to recognize that Eddie v. Dana is a good look for the brand, right? I think he's smart enough to run with that ball. I don't think that he is necessarily like foaming at the mouth to have this fight, but I don't think he's shying away from it. I don't think he's uncomfortable by the idea of sparring them. And so I think he's positioning himself as like, hey, I'm boxing and these guys are the outsiders and they're trying to get rid of belts and I love the belts. They're trying to get rid of the Ali Act and I respect the Ali Act. They're trying to undercut you and I'm trying to overpay you. And so he's very smart with what he's doing. And there's a lot of things that you can't disagree on. And if he was doing the same stuff and coming into MMA and saying that same stuff, Dana would feel the same way. Where I thought Eddie was wrong was where he said, like, I see Dana talking about the Crawford-Canelo undercard and reading off a paper. He doesn't have the same fire that he does for MMA. And what I wanted to say was, like, have you seen him, announce fights on Instagram Live? He's reading those off a paper as well. But, then the people are going to start saying you're stirring the pot and this is...
No, you're dead right.
Yeah, but like, right. I think he doesn't recognize that the fastball has gone from 98 to 78 in the last 5 years, Or
else this is very tactical as well. Or else this is another... Like, I mean, these are very unique characters. You had Dana White in that 60 Minutes interview. It seemed to me he was as proud to be called loyal as he was to be called a bully. He is the archetypal bully in this yard. Like, you look at Dana White and he looks like a guy who throw a mean punch. He looks like the type of guy you do not want to get in a fight with. Eddie Hearn, on the other hand, the silver-tongued devil, always dressed immaculately, looks like he could be on the cover of a catalog, never mind, or maybe walking down a catwalk. He is a different kind of guy. He will attack in different ways. He will smile as he cuts your throat, whereas Dana is going to come in lunging and swinging from the hip. It is so exciting. And I think it's what you always say, a rising tide lifts all ships. Everybody is talking about these two guys now, and they're kind of circling each other. I think they've kind of talked themselves into a situation here. Honestly, I think it's going to be one of the biggest stories in next year. I do think that Eddie Hearn needs a fighter. And that's what I was going to say to you. I don't think, right, this MMA thing, he's throwing it out there. This is all hypothetical. We're just speculating.
Yep.
But I feel if he is going to get into the world of MMA, he needs one good fighter. He needs something the world knows about so he can shout about it. And I think he'll do wonderful things with that. Even if he doesn't have a B-side, he needs one good fighter that he can get out there and spotlight, I feel.
anyone, look, when I say Eddie Hearn is the best promoter in combat sports, people are like, what are you talking about? Compare UFC to Matchroom, how much they're worth. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about what we saw in the ring after Boots won on Saturday in Philly. There is no one doing that. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking promotion, right? Like you're backing your guy. Now, as you know, PT, in boxing, it's different than MMA. Dana is kind of overseeing the league. So he can't sit up there on November 13th and say Islam Makhachev is the best fighter in the world and he's going to whoop this guy's ass. Eddie can, because oftentimes it's Dave Allen, his guy, fighting Makhmudov, who's not his guy. So the way the fights are built, sometimes it's Matchroom versus Matchroom, but at the very top, it's often Matchroom versus Golden Boy or Matchroom versus Queensberry, and then he could do it. So the cards that he's playing with are a little bit different, but we don't see that type of passion, knowledge, that showmanship from anyone. And you see that on the Netflix doc series as well. So it's very fun. I'm looking forward to it, and I couldn't agree more. I can't wait for Zuffa Boxing to kick off. I can't wait to see what it looks like. I can't wait to see who's on these cards. I can't wait to see what the Paramount broadcasts look like. I can't wait to see all of it. Like next year is so much fun. I love all this stuff. And there's a lot of interesting things at play next year. Where does PFL go after next year? That's a big story next year. This year was about the UFC's deal. What happens to PFL? Does ESPN say, okay, we're riding with these guys? Or do they have to find another avenue? And by the way, there ain't many options out there right now. Just ask Top Rank. Top Rank's last show was end of July. They don't have a TV deal 3 months later. That's unheard of. Usually you announce the TV deal 4 months, 5 months, 6 months in advance of your deal coming to an end. So that just speaks to the lack of options right now. Anyway, it's a great time, and Eddie V. Dana is only going to get more interesting. And I love that at first it was like, I love the guy, but now it's like one compliment, and then we get into the other stuff. Dana's calling him Oscar De La Hoya. He went Oscar De La Hoya on me. The one question that I wish... like that. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Took that very personally.
The one question that I wish I asked Eddie, and hopefully we'll have another opportunity, is, Dana always loves to say, it's the one business out there that has generated trillions of dollars, and there's nothing to show for it. And, maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like Matchroom is worth something.
See the Matchroom HQ on that Netflix documentary?
That's their former home. You know that, right?
Don't come around to Blanche. Don't be coming around to my gaff if that's nothing. I tell you that much. They hosted events on their backyard.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's an empire that the Hearns have built. Very, very exciting. And just on the PFL point, I think it's a big opportunity for them, this broadcasting as well. I saw a lot of US fans with the Hughes and Usman event, which, a massive fight and a brilliant fight. We don't have to get into everything else, but they really needed to make that obvious where to go and watch it. And we were doing the Crack Friday. The card had already begun, and people needed to find it. Like that's a situation that needs to be dealt with. So I'd see that as an opportunity if I was the PFL.
Grant asks, and this is apropos, considering my kids are there, unless they left. Did they leave?
Nope, they're all here.
Okay, well, maybe they can answer the question, because he says, you're going on date night with your wife, which never happens. In fact, it was my wife's and I 17th anniversary this past weekend. And
we do have a relevant super chat for that.
Oh, yeah, well, we got to go out with Walter and Claire.
Nice.
It was very romantic.
Kids join you.
Yeah, they joined us.
I love it.
And then they were complaining, and then they were
Well, how was the service?
It wasn't about that. It was about it taking too long, falling asleep at the table. Claire knows what's going on. And then we went to get chocolate chip cookies. It was a great time.
Nice.
And by the way, as I said to them, Bill, what a mensch. Happy belated 17th wedding anniversary to Ariel Jacket.
Really
and 1 year anniversary to the great uncrowned team. I mean, is there any more thoughtful human being on the planet than Bill Steinmetz?
Who, me? I've never met him.
Mensch is a powerful word. It's an understatement.
Yeah. How does he even know that?
Happy retirement to Bill Steinmetz. He's retired.
Well deserved.
Unbelievable.
You put in his time. Shout out to you, Bill.
Yes. Las Vegas finest. You're going on date night with your wife and have to choose between Powhatan and Yuri to babysit your kids. Who are you choosing and why?
Shamba, I'm coming.
Oh, wow.
Just to help you.
Just give you a vision.
Well, if you choose Yuri and they start getting too excited, he's going to be like...
I feel like Yuri runs a tight ship.
Yeah.
Like we say bed by 8, he's bed by 7:30.
Nah,
that
could be...
He turns off the lights.
The
He's
kids could be
darkness
dancing
ceremony as soon as he
around.
arrives.
That's probably
screaming,
accurate.
And Yuri's just no selling it.
You have trees in the backyard? Yeah, you're gonna come home. They're gonna be
Unplug the internet.
Yeah, shadow
Mr.
boxing.
Yuri,
with
I
the
just
tree.
cut my finger open.
Well,
You'll be fine.
that's my thought. Is like, yes, he probably does run a tight ship, but what kind of activities are they doing, and are they going to be safe when they do them? You know, that's the question.
Today we'll learn how to meditate.
Powhatan, no curfew.
Yeah, probably not.
Powhatan, man of the kids. We
No,
had
he's-
that video. I don't know if we still have it of him
got
going
the
back
kids
to the
himself.
school. He had the school yesterday. I mean, what was it? Friday I saw this video of him going back to his school in Brazil. The kids love Powhatan.
You definitely get a Shama shuffle in there for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know
Let's
what?
say he's having a great time.
It's a party. It's a party with Pereira. Yeah, you're right.
I know who I'd pick.
Yeah, who's that?
Powhatan, of course. Like,
Yeah.
He's going to let you order some crazy food.
Yeah.
You know, stick this on. Like, Yuri, love him. But, I mean, just the idea of him looking after me as a child, I can't imagine there'd be any screen time. I can't imagine, you know, I'd say we'd be out the back garden howling at the moon and stuff, trying to gather the energy sources from Mother Earth.
Yuri could help with like academics as well. You just went to school.
Yeah. So, okay. So would it be fair to say the kids would probably prefer Alex, the parents would probably prefer Yuri?
Fair. I think you hit it right on the
I think
nose.
I'm going Alex.
Well, if you have Alex, just Plinio also need to be there to translate.
That'd be cool. Uncle Plinio?
Get two babies?
Yeah.
I mean,
For the price of one?
Last question.
Sure.
You come home, I've been bullied. Who do you think would take action? Powhatan or Yuri?
Like who's saying?
One of the kids
Tell
comes
me-
home like, I just had a rough day. This kid was, acting a fool. Who's
think-
jumping in the car and saying we're rectifying this right now?
I think Powhatan.
Really?
I think
All right.
Yuri's saying let's figure this out. Let's not jump to
Violence is not the
conclusions.
answer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fair.
I think Alex would advocate for you handling your business. He
I
would
think
go
both of
back
them would
and-
do
and
something.
take care of
Yeah.
the business that needs to be taken care of.
Here's the
Yuri'd
keys.
be shaking,
Go
getting
fix it.
emotional.
Yeah.
You know, like he did when he was watching Powhatan.
Yeah.
Like, that's how he'd react to that story. He was just like,
I mean, Alex has kids. Like,
I think Yuri would make it a statement of war.
Yeah, it's true. We should just ask.
there's
Alex's
evidence
kids. Yeah.
here of what could potentially happen in these scenarios,
Here's Jesse Orozco. He says, what gets a bigger pop? McGregor fighting at the White House, 2, Ronda fighting again, or 3, Ariel asking a question at a UFC press conference? What an
I
honor.
got some pretty big ones back in the day.
Yeah,
Ariel. What?
those are fun.
Between 1 or
on.
3 for sure.
And
It's
how
tough.
many spectators is it going to be at the White House?
What do you say, 5,000?
It's true.
Yeah, no, it would be interesting.
Yeah, I was actually just doing some research back to the BJJ question.
Yeah.
Top 4 live streams on the UFC YouTube channel's history. Number 1, the UFC 229 weigh-ins. Number 2, the UFC 229 post-fight presser. Number 3, the UFC 229 pre-fight presser. Number 4, BJJ 3.
It's bollocks.
Wow.
We know it's bollocks. This is ridiculous. Come on.
Mikey's going to be joining us in a matter of moments, and we will ask it. First question, or do we ease into it?
Peter Carroll said it's bollocks. React to this.
To Rick's point, I don't think the UFC, if
Yeah.
it is true, would have anything to do with it, and I can guarantee Arthur Gatone had nothing to do with it.
No, I don't think so either.
Here's
great
Can't
things, I
Let
just
You
don't
Get
believe them.
Close. Ariel, I thought it made sense having Benny Safdie on the program. He was the director of the MMA movie or un-MMA movie that came out recently, and was surprised to see Channing Tatum on the program, even if you tried to tie the interview to MMA in some way. But then it all made sense. Christie, starring Sydney Sweeney, comes out in November, and you don't want to have her coming in studio out of the blue and have people reacting as if it was for other reasons. Just make sure Late Night Frank doesn't pull a top shelf FMA when he's miking her up backstage.
You don't have to read every part.
I don't
of the
even know
question.
what this is.
God, is that?
Anyway, he says, saw Roofman and Smashing Machine this weekend. They were great. Thanks. Oh, because of us? Kyle, fellas, true or false? The following fighters fight in the UFC again. John Jones, Ronda Rousey, Conor McGregor, Francis. I was just trying to read them all. Okay, John, true.
Yeah.
Ronda, false.
Yeah.
Conor, true.
Yeah.
Francis, false.
I agree.
You agree with that?
That's exactly how I'd answer it.
Gaza Brew. Hey, Ariel, 2 quick things. Can you please make an Uncrowned app for ease of access to look at your articles? I would love an Uncrowned app. We'll get there soon.
Get on that, Frank.
And has the Ariel Helwani Show really gone that big that Channing Tatum is coming on to promote his film? Yes. Yes, it has. Oh, and also, Frank, I also like to kiss my mam's ass. Don't worry.
There are children in this room.
Yeah, oof. I mean,
What?
ask the lads what they think of that.
Yeah.
I tell you, Frank.
Frank, why don't you ask the kids about that story?
We're gonna file that in. No.
Muscle Milk Mike, what's up, Ariel? Shout out to the boys in the back and the Goat Pizza. My question for you is, how do you manage to ask questions to your guests that might seem personal or a subject they don't want to discuss without making them be turned off by the conversation? Example, like when you ask fighters about personal life, such as past mistakes or such. I feel like you kind of just have to ease into it, you know? You have to be sort of empathetic. You have to be soft. You have to be thoughtful. That type of thing. Hi, Ariel. Question for y'all. GC, blind rank these 5 fighters. Juliana Pena. By the way, there's like 10 blind ranks today for you specifically.
Why always me? 2 for Pena?
Oh, interesting.
Oh, fuck.
Israel Adesanya.
Aye. Is this in terms of skill or my favorite?
He didn't.
I'm okay with Pena at 2 then. We'll go Izzy 3.
She's coming for you. Izzy 3, Yuri.
We're going to put Yuri down at 4 just because of the recent events.
Alex Volkanovski.
I know the 5's going to screw me. It's not going to be a 5. But we'll put Volk 1.
Poatan.
It's inaccurate. Yeah, 5 though. 5.
What would the actual ranking be?
That's tough. The top 4 would probably be out of those. Probably Volk, Poatan, Yuri, Izzy, Pena.
All right.
It's a difficult one. Those are 5 of my favorites, though, for sure. They chose well. I thought they were going to throw Tom in there as well.
No, I missed that. Very quickly, he also asks, Rick, do you have a Letterboxd, and do you rate the movies you watch like I do?
He didn't have his.
He does not have a Letterboxd.
Magic the Gathering right there. He was magicking.
Yeah, he was magicking.
He was posting on the I Hate.
Does he have Letterboxd?
What does not have it.
All right.
It's like a movie review service.
Frank, which UFC fighter has the best walkout song?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Wow.
No, this is easy. Ilya.
Happy belated Andy. Shout out Jordan. That's it. He just says shout out Jordan. He also had a question here for PT, but it's going to take way too long to answer. We have our next guest. It's about.
I refuse to do it.
It's about you going into journalism, and it'll take you 10 minutes to answer it. So, like, you know,
took over the game, baby. Don't know what to tell you. 15 years ago, changed everyone's life, changed this whole sport.
Still getting a long response from him.
That's right. Thank you.
I thought the music was going to hit there. All right, see you later.
All right. Much to get into. Back into the show. Ian Machado Garry going to join us. Cory Sandhagen, Paulie Malignaggi, but very exciting to speak to perhaps the best pound for pound BJJ, that's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner in the world today. He is the defending UFC BJJ bantamweight champion. Just a couple of weeks ago, fight week for UFC 320, he successfully defended his title against Kevin Carrasco. He is the face, in many people's eyes, including my own, the face of UFC BJJ. They call him Darth Rigatoni. He's the one and only Mikey Musumeci. He's kind enough to join us on this Tuesday afternoon. There he is. Hello, Mikey.
What's
How
up,
are you?
Ariel? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
Good. Yeah, I competed like 8-9 days ago, so just been living life.
Do you come down? Do you need like a come down process where you don't train, where you stay out of the gym, you just chill, you let the body relax?
Yeah, so actually I had a lipoma. Like I have a bunch of them, which are like fat deposits, like these small things. I get them on like my arms, legs. They're not cancerous, but I had one on my head, and I was waiting for a time where after a match where I don't have to train for a week. So I just got that removed like a few days ago. I have stitches in my head right now.
Oh, yes.
But I just trained with the stitches in my head, so I wasn't supposed to.
Oh my gosh. You know, can I tell you something, Mikey? I have a bunch of those as well on my arm, on my stomach. Should I get them removed?
Yeah, I would not. It's a pain in the ass. I wouldn't do it. I had one on my head, so that's like a different story, you know, and it kept getting bigger. It's kind of gross. So that one I wanted to get removed just because it was getting bigger, and I was like, okay, I need some time. I don't have to train, right? So This was like the perfect time.
Happy with your win? Happy with your performance? Heel hook?
Yeah, Mikey lock. I did my own submission. It's called the Mikey lock.
What's the difference? What's the difference?
So when you do a heel hook, you put the foot in your armpit. When I do a Mikey lock, you just basically put it on your neck and you use that as the breaking. So I used my neck for it, and it's cool when you hit your own move on the main stage, right?
Yeah.
I definitely got some hate from that match, doing the Karate Kid stance in the beginning, like Daniel LaRusso.
Yeah, who hated you? Who hated you?
The masses, the people.
Like the jiu-jitsu hardcores or the casuals?
More of the jiu-jitsu hardcores. They it's a very stupid thing, but basically like they think it's okay. It's like manly. It's like masculine. It's tough. If you just wrestle and you just collar tie and nothing happens, like one of the most boring fucking fights ever. But if you go in and you just try to submit the person as fast as you can, that's gay. That's feminine. You know, like it's like so weird. I just was looking to submit the match as fast as possible, and my match was less than 3 minutes. And then people were like, oh, that was boring.
What?
So I can't win with these people.
They hold you to such a high standard.
I had only 2 exchanges in my match, Ariel. And I went 1 for 2 with them. It was my first 2 times like exchanging, and I submitted on the second time. But I'm still boring. I should be ashamed of myself doing the Karate Kid. But Daniel LaRusso is an Italian kid from New Jersey, just like me.
Yeah.
So I had to honor him.
I think your yeah, there it is. Your phone was
Sliding, sorry.
Yeah. You have to stop maybe reading the comments. What do you think? Oh, now it's moving again.
Oh yeah, this is not a good stance for it. Let me put something more heavy.
Okay, no problem.
Sorry about that.
No, all good. Maybe the answer is you just start. No.
Good to go.
I think that's good. Yeah. Well, maybe the answer is you stop reading the comments.
Yeah, I just have to stop going on Instagram as much. But now I'm gaining like over 10,000 followers a day. So
my
my
gosh.
page has been exploding. So at the same time as I'm getting hate, like I am blowing up, you know, like it's unheard of for a jiu-jitsu athlete. I have 73 million views on my page in a month now on Instagram.
What?
So I could like, it's literally 73 million views now on my page.
Why is it exploding right now?
I just think that with everything that's been happening, it's just really hot, like topic right now with the competing, the jiu-jitsu. Like, I don't know, but like this is unheard of for a jiu-jitsu person. So it's just an amazing, it's just been amazing. But I've been getting a lot of hate this time.
Okay, well, while we're on the subject, might as well bring it up. A lot of people have been asking me because you were coming on today. So apparently this conspiracy about the UFC BJJ 3 YouTube video. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
So it went from 275K to 9 million over the course of a couple of days with very low engagement. This is now a hot story. Everyone's what do you make of this? What's going on here?
So first, I was just pumped. I started 9 million views. I'm like, yeah, you know. I was just really happy that I got to 9. I don't really understand or know how that works, like pumping views on YouTube. You know, UFC has millions of subscribers, but yeah, I don't really know anything about this. That's out of my pay grade, that tier of like doing things like that, right?
Can I throw out a hypothesis on my end?
Okay.
So I saw some people saying like, oh, look how pathetic the UFC is. They're buying views to prop up UFC BJJ. But let's be honest, it's the UFC. They don't need to buy views. They're the freaking most dominant force in all of combat sports. So
And they have so much money, right? Like they don't like. I don't know if
it's
they
the
even
third
care.
event. They're trying to build something new. Okay. Is it possible? I don't know, but is it possible you can buy views on someone else's page? You can attach those. Is it possible, Mikey, that someone bought views on the UFC page to then say, look at the UFC, they're frauds. Look at what they're doing.
Interesting.
Is that
like a setup? Like they planned.
Yes. Is that possible? I feel like that's a possibility.
Conspiracy theory.
Who's paying attention to this sort of thing? I feel like someone might have planted it to then say, look at these frauds. Is that possible? That feels more plausible to me than them buying views on their video. What do you think?
Man, I don't know. Like that's very interesting also, but again, I don't know how these major organizations work. I was just pumped to see the 9 million number, but if it's not real, that kind of sucks, but hopefully it is. That would be like cool. But I get what you're saying, and like it was really fast how the views came up, so it seems weird. But maybe the planting story would work.
It's a wild thing. I mean, everyone's talking about this, and there's so much, as you said, activity and drama right now in the BJJ world. Is this fun for you, or is it overwhelming at times?
So it's very interesting because I'm in a very lightweight class of 135, right? It's like, again, it's unheard of for there to be so much talk about someone in 135. You know, it's usually heavyweights like Gordon, Craig, like that. Like the heavier people, there's always more talk. But so much talk in the lighter division now. It's like really cool that like we're starting this landscape of like the light divisions, you know. And if you look at like MMA and boxing, like Conor McGregor was 145, right? Mayweather and Pacquiao were like lighter too, like 140, 135. Ryan Garcia the same size. So we are very marketable, the little guys, you know. And now I have the most followers in jiu-jitsu as well. So it does seem that like the little guys are like making a new landscape, just like boxing and MMA they did.
So you have more followers than Craig Jones, than Gordon Ryan, Nicky Ryan, all these guys.
All of them. I have like, I think Gordon's at like 996, and I'm at like almost 1.3 million now. I've been getting over 10,000 followers a day. So
wow. So I said you're the face of UFC BJJ. Perhaps what I should have said, you're the face of jiu-jitsu. You're the face of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu right now. Is that accurate?
I'm not saying that. I'll get shit on so bad if I said that.
But I'm saying it. I'm asking.
I'm just trying to help grow our landscape for the next generation, right? The numbers, again, are like unheard of in Jiu-Jitsu that we're having now. So I just want to continue growing that. And all of Jiu-Jitsu is growing right now like crazy. You know, CGI was insane. The last UFC card did very well as well. I know the views might be off or whatever. I don't know. But I thought it was an overall good experience. I definitely am being talked about now by random people that have no idea what jiu-jitsu is, and they know me. So that's really cool.
How do you feel about the state of UFC BJJ? Like the promotion, it's getting off the ground. It's had a few events now. That was the third, I do believe. How do you feel about the way things are moving?
I think it's expected with only 3 events, how they're doing things, right? It's the beginning, right? And they just started it. We're moving at an okay pace. My contract's actually up now with UFC, so I'm up for renegotiation, re-signing. Yeah, everything's been going well. Definitely, there's a lot of learning that they have to do and build because it takes time to do this, right? It takes time to perfect it, just like every other organization.
So are you confident? Are you hopeful? Do you like the direction?
I think that it's okay. I think it's good. I just hate the amount of hate that I receive from people with this. You know, it's very frustrating sometimes because I'm always down to fight the best in the world. You know, I'm the best in the world at 135, and I want to fight anyone that's the best in the world. And then I'll get crapped on from the community. Oh, I'm not having hard matches. I'm not having hard. It's not really my fault if there's people that don't want to compete with me or I'm not able to compete with people, right?
What's the biggest match you can have right now? Who's the one that people are saying they want you to go up against, and because maybe you're with UFC, you can't?
So there's an opponent called Baby Shark.
Yes, you've wanted to fight him for a very long time or compete against him.
For 2 years, I've been trying to fight this guy, and now he's exclusive to one, which is why I'm like going crazy. I just want to compete with him so bad. But also another match that would be really big is Juwon Miao. I competed with him like 8 years ago. But he's very famous now. He has like 1 million followers, and he was like my toughest opponent back in the day. And that fight's been blowing up as well. I think UFC did a poll, who should I compete with next? And it was like 1,500 comments, and like 1,400 of them were me and Juwon. So that's a good one. Baby Shark for sure. And then, yeah, I just want to continue competing and getting better. I've been getting so much better, Ariel. Like nobody even knows how much better I am and how good I am. And like, there's so many things you don't see for me in matches because they end so fast.
Why didn't you and Baby Shark not happen when you were with one?
So he signed exclusive with one back then to compete with me, and I signed a bout deal with him 6 or 7 times. And he, first he said he couldn't pass a drug test. So I think he was like the first athlete ever in the history to send them a list of all the things he's on.
Oh wow!
But then what happened was he ended up doing Flow Grappling, who's number 1, while signed to one, because one lets athletes do other organizations. And he did that 2 times, I think, when he was signed to fight with me, instead of doing a match with me. So I went like months in camp trying to train for this guy, and then he didn't have the match. And I broke down my body. It messed me up a lot. You know, I was supposed to fight him first in January, February, March, April, June, all those months. Then when I signed with UFC, I requested the fight with him immediately. The last 2 or 3 matches, I requested the fight with him, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm exclusive to one. I can't do it." So I'm just like, dude, okay, whatever.
So right now the UFC policy is the same as the MMA policy, which is they're not co-promoting, right? Like they're not sharing talent.
They can't. It makes sense though, right? Like you wouldn't want your champion competing with a champion of another organization. Like you're just building up other athletes, right? So I understand that from a logical perspective. I just really wanted that match. But Joel Miao is also an amazing match. Like he's so good and like an amazing competitor. Like that fight would blow up as well. I'm just looking for us to grow our platform now, you know? I want to just keep getting better, fight with the best people, but I want to grow our platform more and more. And again, my page is exploding right now. I am doing the right things. I just have that tough skin and handle the hate that I get sometimes.
Where'd the black eye come from?
It's a birthmark.
That's a birthmark?
You never noticed it?
This right here? This is a birthmark. Wow, I didn't notice.
Birthmark.
Really?
Yeah, I could have gave you a cool story that I got punched in the face or something, but it's a birthmark.
You've always had
a little kid. People always thought I got like beat up or something.
Oh wow! The other times you've been on the show, I didn't notice it.
Probably because I was in my car with like different lighting. Now I have a white background.
Okay. Well, it makes you look tough, 24/7.
Oh yeah, I'm a fighter, of course.
That's right. By the way, I saw this photo of you. I saw a photo of you online. You're at the gym, and I think it's old, and you're showing off the abs. Do we have this photo here, guy? How is this an old photo?
That's like a year and a half ago.
This is insanity, man. What is going on?
I was so skinny.
How do you what percentage of body fat do you have on here?
Probably like close to like 7, 6, maybe even low. I think like 6, 7 probably.
6, 7.
Maybe, because like the thing is, what happened to me was, again, that was during that time I was supposed to fight Baby Shark. So every month they had me in camp for this fucking match that never happened. So I was in camp for like 6 months, and for me to be in camp more than like 2 months, it really breaks down my body, right? So staying skinny that long, like it really messes up your organs. It's not healthy for you. You see how like lean and cut I am there, right? And like I just was in camp too long.
Did you have any pizza afterwards to celebrate?
Oh, of course I did. Now I just am like, I'm probably gonna travel to Asia soon. Get my contract worked on now. We'll see like what happens with that.
What's going on? What's going on? You free agent?
Free agent right now.
Come on.
Well, my contract ends like in a few days.
Whoa, this is massive news, Mikey. You've been no-selling us here. This is the top line story. Wait a second. The face of UFC BJJ is a free agent in, what'd you say, 2 or 3 days?
Like in a few days from now, yeah.
Wow. So what's happening? What are we
I
doing?
don't know. I'm supposed to meet with them soon, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah.
Is there a chance you leave?
I don't know.
Who's representing you in these talks, or is it just you?
Just me.
Do you need me to help you? Do you need me to fly down there?
Yeah, could you got me? You'll come in with me?
I'd be happy to. Of course, they love me. I think I could get you a sweetheart deal.
And then also another cool news that like we haven't talked about yet, but Craig and me want to start a travel show.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw you mentioned that in the post match press conference. So you and Craig are buddies now.
Yeah, we're good friends. We talk all the time. I think things like that make you closer when you clash with someone, right?
Sure.
But like we have like a big brother love between me and him. But I know like people would go insane if me and him did a travel show, like traveling to random places and us like seeing different things, and like who knows what will happen on that show.
Oh, it'd be brilliant. I mean, you guys are so different. What did you think of CJI 2 and how it all played out, and especially the accusation from Gable to Craig? Did you hear about this?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought CGI 2 was a great event. Like, it just, the amount of views and stuff, it was great. Like, the amount of traction it got from the jiu-jitsu community, right?
Right.
With Gable and Craig, I think that, I don't know what's true or not, but I think that Craig is just an entertainer, right? He doesn't really care about competing anymore. Like, he's done, and he just wanted to entertain the crowd, right? So if that's true, he doesn't really care. Like, he doesn't care about winning or losing. He just wanted to be entertaining.
Do you think that Craig would have asked him to throw the match? That was the accusation.
I don't know exactly. I don't think Craig needed to do that with people. I think that Craig could submit him like pretty chill, considering he's not a jiu-jitsu person, right?
Right.
But if they did do that, it was probably because Craig had some funny story plot that he wanted to do to make it more entertaining. You know what I mean?
Is there a chance you talk to the UFC, you cut a new deal, but within this deal, it allows you to compete for a CJI or a one if you want. Like, can you have carve-outs, as they say? See what I'm saying? Like, you can have things
The
that are
second they
carved
do
out.
that, though, UFC would back away because it's not worth it to them to invest millions of dollars into something that they're just handing over their athletes that they're building to someone else, right?
Sure, but you're representing them, and they're in the look. Back in the day, Mikey, Chuck Liddell.
Pride.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I get it, and I think that's awesome. But yeah, we'll just see how the meeting goes with them.
Who's the meeting with? Like, who's the front? I know Claudia does like a lot of
Hunter.
Hunter. Oh wow, so it's you and Hunter in there.
Yeah,
Hunter loves me.
The master.
He's a big fan.
Really?
Yes, he's a huge fan. Marab told me just yesterday. He's a big fan of mine. So if you need,
yeah, but you're coming to the meeting with me now.
Yeah, I know. I go. That's good for you. I'm just letting you know. This is now.
Yeah, you, me, and Craig are all going in together.
Is Craig going to be in there too?
No,
that might be a problem. That might be a
He
problem.
was supposed to coach me my last match.
Was he allowed?
I think he could have came. I don't think they would stop him from coming in.
Man.
I needed his instructions. He was gonna give me tequila in between rounds, you know.
Didn't you say he was going to give you Tylenol too?
Tylenol with tequila. Like I need a beverage to sip the Tylenol, right? I need
Sure.
So then we were gonna do tequila with Tylenol, which is like a crazy combo.
Do you drink at all?
No, not really. The last time I drank was on that show with Craig.
Oh wow. Okay.
But
you mean the one
yeah,
with
I'm not a
DJ?
big drinker. Yeah, with DJ and Craig. That show was insane. That got like 1.3, 1.4 million views.
It was great. I mean, DJ's killing it on his channel. The production was great. There you
DJ's
are.
awesome.
Yeah.
It was such a fun show. I was just sucked because I was like blacked out drunk at like noon, 11 a.m.
Oh,
like drinking tequila in the morning is brutal.
By the way, did you have mushrooms at UFC 320? There are people saying that as well.
No. So I didn't realize what mushrooms even look like. I didn't know what that was. But I just was like, oh, I should do something funny. So I just brought random pasta from my house. I broke it up. I bought some pasta. And then I went on and went.
And people thought
but then
it
the
was.
problem was that I guess that's what mushrooms look like.
And so people accused you of that. Did that bother you? Kind of funny.
It's kind of funny that I didn't even know like what they are or what they look like, right? And then I was like, wow, people thought I was on mushrooms.
So you were just eating like raw pasta?
Just raw pasta. I just brought it with me. Like I thought it would be like a cool thing just to like bite the pasta when they put me on the camera.
I believe they call that al dente.
Yeah, it was super al dente, definitely.
Yes.
But I just am looking to be entertaining, like random things, you know, like my post-fight interview at UFC. Everyone loved when I said I want to thank Tylenol for this performance.
Yeah.
The Karate Kid in the beginning of my match. You know, the pasta, like jiu-jitsu is boring. We need things that make it exciting, you know,
Sure.
just random things like that, just to appeal to people. Like, I know jiu-jitsu, the hardcore were annoyed at the Daniel LaRusso, but it is freaking cool going out as the Karate Kid.
Of course. I have a good idea. What about Sean Strickland versus your friend Derek Moneyberg? UFC BJJ 4. Craig was rocking the shirt.
Yeah, yeah, I haven't spoke to Derek in a long time, but
have you? Because I think you got a little bit of heat for being friends with him, right?
Yeah, that was rough. But
you said in the post-match press conference, you've been stabbed. There's nothing left.
No, there's nothing left. The amount I got shit on for that situation was crazy. I didn't give the guy his black belt. But yeah, it just sometimes people got to just be real with you and just put you like straight, you know. So like. I'm happy the community was pissed at me and they just put me straight and like it is what it is. But yeah, I got beat up pretty bad with that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sean versus Derek, I don't know how that would go. But yeah, that was crazy when Sean confronted him with the video.
And so do you think that his black belt is legit? You didn't give him the black belt.
No, I didn't give him the black belt.
I think Jake Shields did, right?
Jake Shields did, and Jake Shields is OG, right? He's legit as hell.
Sure.
But
I mean, he's a little bit insane, but yes.
Yeah, his posts are insane. But I'm just saying, like, he is like an old school legit black belt, right? But I think that Derek definitely works hard, but I would never give someone their black belt in that time. He's a very smart guy, but for myself, I wouldn't give someone a black belt in that time. I do respect the people that gave him it, though. That's all I'm saying.
And so do you feel like it's in your best interest to distance yourself from him now?
Yeah, I just feel like I got put in a bad situation. Like, the thing is, I can't prove if he's a black belt or not, right? And there's nothing I could do. So what am I doing arguing if he's not having a match with somebody that could prove it, he's not doing anything like that, then there's no point in even doing this. I think that it's like like showing it off and stuff, if you can't prove like showing like logically why you're this belt, I think then it's like stupid, you know? That's why I just backed away from it. I think it's a stupid situation.
Were you just friends?
I was just friends with Derek. I went 3 times.
Okay. That's it. Just 3 times?
Just 3 times. That's it.
Does he pay you to work out with him?
Oh yeah, he pays like coaches to come in and just hang out and like train with him. Gilbert was there, and Gilbert, of course, is my coach, right? He gave me my black belt. So me, Gilbert, and Derek would just hang out, and we had fun. Derek was really nice to me. He was a cool guy. Like he was like very nice to me. I have nothing bad to say about him. I just didn't like the situation where I got put in a spot where I'm getting like canceled like a drug dealer. Like I did something insane when I just wanted to support him. You know, like I wasn't really thinking, and I just jumped on it. I was like, oh, my friend got his black belt. Like, instead of thinking like, oh, well, I understand what it sets as a precedent in jiu-jitsu, like no way of proving it. Like if we had a standardized test to pass, okay, awesome. Then you could do that and then show everyone, look, I got my belt in this time. I passed the standardized test. But if there's no standardized test and then you just post it and you can't, and there's no way of showing it, like then it's kind of screwed, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, so
that's how I see it from a logical perspective.
Sure. No, I understand that. I didn't know it was just 3 times as well.
Yeah, I only there 3 times, and then people made it out like I'm the one that gave him it. I'm there with him every day. You know what I mean? Like,
it's rough out there, but this is what happens when you're the top dog. When you're the face, everyone's punching up.
Yeah, I'm learning that now, that how much hate you get being in this position, Ariel. Like, I never realized that, but I'm getting better with it over time. It's just, I'm very sensitive, as you know.
No, I understand. I mean, I saw that picture of you with the belts. It's an unbelievable shot.
I get cold at night, so I need a good blanket, you know?
Oh my gosh. We were looking at the pictures before the show. This is you on the left before, and this is you afterwards with the 2 UFC BJJ belts. My 11-year-old son, he's going to kill me for saying this. He saw it and he said, that's aura right there. This guy's got aura.
I'm aura farming.
Are you aura farming? I don't know. You won those. Is aura farming a good thing or a bad thing? I can't quite tell.
I think it's a good thing, right? I think aura farming is good. Again, these Gen Z kids, I don't know like their language, but I think that's what it means.
Okay. Well, I mean, look at that. I can understand why people are hating you with that picture. I mean, look at those belts. Which one means the most?
Yeah, which one means the most?
Yeah.
I don't know. The one belt was really cool. I think the beginning of each belt is cool because it's like a new chapter for me, right? But I think the black belt world's medals and the gi, those medals are actually the strongest ones for me that mean the most.
Okay.
Just because the hell I went through to get those, you know?
What do you mean by hell?
Like the sacrifice, the hours, the suffering, it's just very hard. Like I've been undefeated now, Ariel, in my division like 8 or 9 years.
Well, yeah.
So, but the beginning of getting undefeated, it's hard, right? Because your skill level is really more matched by people. But then once you break that barrier, it becomes easier to stay at the top. I think the hardest part, though, is that beginning when you get to the top.
That makes sense. Yeah. But now everyone's coming after you, and you were active this year, 3 matches in 2025. When do you think you'll return?
I think, well, we'll see how this meeting goes with UFC again.
Yes. When is that? Competing. Wednesday? Tuesday? Thursday? Yeah, today's Tuesday.
I think this week or next week we'll see.
Okay.
But we'll make a plan and see like what's going on with that. I don't know at all what's going on, but we'll see.
Are you nervous?
No, I'm not nervous because I don't know. I'm in a good spot in my life. I'm pretty chill. Like regardless what happens, I'm chill. Like there's so many things in jiu-jitsu right now. There's so many different avenues and stuff. So like whatever happens, we'll see. But UFC was good to me this year, and we'll see like what happens and what we talk about.
Do you think that UFC is fully invested in jiu-jitsu? Do you feel like they're all in?
I think they're all in. I think that they said they plan to have 10 events next year.
Wow.
So I just want to talk to them personally and see what their plans are, right? And see like what the future is, and like then we can make a plan to see like where I go from this point, right? But I am at the peak of my career right now. I feel amazing. My level is the best it's ever been. I'm getting better every day. Even training with stitches today, I felt so good in training. So I haven't really rested. I'm taking a break, but I've been climbing every day. I'm just obsessed.
Yeah.
And this obsession I have, like, I know I could be at the top if I wanted to, like another like 15 years if I really wanted to.
Wow. How old are you?
I'm 29, but my body is like 20, 21. Like I have no steroids, right? Remember we talked about this?
Yes, of course. So
I'm so young. Like I really am young. So healthy, young. No injuries in my life, thank God. Nothing bad. So I could really just go another like 10, 15 years if I really want to. But now I want to just keep building my following and page, get more people to jiu-jitsu. That's what I mean. Like, I have like 73 million views on my page right now. I can send you the picture after this. Like it's like the analytics, but
no, I believe you.
It's growing like crazy.
Any UFC fighters locally say, "Hey, Mikey, can you be my coach? You're so good." I'm surprised that you're not in more people's corners.
I work a lot with Brandon Moreno.
Okay.
I was supposed to train with him today actually, but he didn't end up coming. But I work a lot with him. But yeah, I think later on the line, I'll be more of like coach more with stuff like that. I'll definitely do more things like that as I get older. There's just so much for me to do right now. There's so much more for me to do. I'm excited and like I'm just so blessed and grateful for the exact position I'm in right now. You know,
Yeah.
It's an amazing spot.
Well, you should be proud. You should be grateful. You should feel blessed. Congratulations on all your success, Mikey. Always great to catch up with you. Congrats on the win and good luck with that meeting. I'm very curious to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I'll send you your itinerary later.
All right, perfect.
Yeah. So we'll set it up, and Craig too.
Yeah. Oh, could you imagine? You roll up at UFC HQ with me and Craig.
Yeah, how fast are we getting kicked out?
No, stop it! Don't put me. I'm not shooting Dana White's head on with a freaking like rifle or whatever he was doing. I come in peace, Mikey. I come in peace.
Oh yeah, we're peaceful people.
That's right. Ciao ragazzo, Mikey.
Grazie mille, fratello.
There he is, the great Mikey Musumeci, Darth Rigatoni. What a great guy! And he breaks some news. He's a free agent in a couple of days. Very, very interesting stuff there. UFC BJJ Under Fire, their YouTube channel. I think much ado about nothing. But let us see. Okay, there's a story here that is developing regarding Frankie Edgar. You'll recall last week we had, was it last week? No, 2 weeks ago, we had Dave Feldman on the program, and we talked about Frankie. This is what I was told. I was told that, back up. They said Frankie couldn't get cleared. You saw that. He said it on the show. I was told it was a ticket selling issue. Ultimately, they agreed to a certain number. They didn't sell X amount of tickets. And they said, you know what, let's try to cut our losses here. We'll pay you X amount, and then you can go on your way. But we're not going to pay you the full amount because the show wasn't as profitable as we thought. Well, Frankie has remained relatively quiet since, but he was on his podcast called The Champ and the Tramp, and he said this, quote, they didn't sell enough tickets, and they figured, let's get one of the highest paid guys on the card and get him off the card. We don't have to pay him. Or they lost a sponsor. These are all speculations. I thought BKFC had something. I was like, wow, this is pretty entertaining. They got something, but not if they treat fighters like this, because I'll tell you what, fighters out there, beware. I was training for 6-7 weeks. I got a week out from the fight. We get an email. My manager gets an email from someone at BKFC stating that the owner of BKFC is leaving for Manchester and he doesn't have a phone on him. He can't call you, but he'll call you eventually. But in the meantime, his doctor recommended I don't fight based on my age, consecutive TKO losses, my layoff, my record, which sounds fugazi. That was before he'd even seen my medicals, this doctor or anything, which is kind of crazy. And the fact that he set me up a week before the fight, obviously we signed the deal months ago, so all those facts were known much before we signed that deal. Not to mention that I passed every single one of the medicals. I did a whole crap ton of medicals. Got a physical, blood test, eye exam, 3 different heart things, passed it all. And so he's calling it to question. He did get paid, but it was a fraction of what he was supposed to get paid. I did ask Connor about this when I was at the event in our doc that we filmed, which is going to come out next week, is the plan, because we're fine-tuning it and we want it to be as good as possible. And he did respond to this. And I asked him if it was a ticket thing. And he responded to that as well. So you'll see that. Honestly, I don't give an F, because the people that I know, that know me, know I was ready to go. I passed every effing medical. And honestly, thinking about it now, I haven't got any of these medicals since my fight. Just a clean bill of health. I'm good to go. So there you have it. MMA Fighting did a whole breakdown and a recap of the comments. Go check it out on MMAfighting.com. All right, speaking of the world of bare knuckle, BKB is back. BKB on quite a roll, especially overseas. They've got a show this weekend, October 18th, in Leeds. It's called BKB 47, Leeds Brawl 2. And the featured bout on the card involves a gentleman named Tyler Goodjohn against the legend, the Magic Man, Paulie Malignaggi, in his first fight since June of 2019 when he fought the great Artem Lobov. How about this? He's kind enough to join us, Paulie Malignaggi is, right here and now. Hello, Paulie. How are you? Welcome back. Oh, I don't hear you. Are you muted?
Sorry, I was muted, Ariel.
All good. What's up, Paulie?
How you doing? I'm good, man. How's everything?
Everything's good. It's good to have you back. Congrats on you're doing so much. The YouTube channel is doing great. You're out there doing media as well. It's great stuff. Pro Box TV, but you're back fighting. Why? Why are you doing this 6 years later?
It's various reasons. Probably there's a little bit of truth in everybody's opinion. You know, some of it is you don't want to let it go. You want to give it one last shot. Some of it is you want to make more money. I would like to and have plans to retire back to Italy, but in order to do that, I have to probably pay down some properties and stuff in the U.S. You know, they tell you to invest your stuff, and so you invest, and then it ends up creating roots for you in a place where maybe you want to leave. You know, so eventually I'd like to move back to Sicily, so I'd have to pay down some properties there. Also, BKB has been very good to me as far as commentating and giving me a lot of opportunities after the 2020 separation from Showtime. Actually, Pro Box TV and BKB have been very, very good to me. So it's a chance for me to try to kind of springboard them a little bit and sort of one hand washing the other by me fighting with them and fighting for them. Sorry, and trying to sort of reciprocate the good that they've done for me.
And so was this your idea? Did you go to them or did they come to you and say, hey, what do you think?
It was my idea. I was sort of brainstorming various options, including glove boxing. But it seemed like this could be the most mutually beneficial and also sort of another feather in my hat as far as an opportunity to win something major. I'm not sure I could win a major world championship in boxing anymore. I mean, granted, Pacquiao almost did beat Mario Barrios, and I thought he did, and the welterweight division is kind of weak in boxing, so I think I would take a stab at something like that only because it's such a weak division. But honestly, if I'm really honest with myself, I think that taking a stab at something great, something that's more than just money, which I think we always need a motivation that's more than just money. It ended up being bare-knuckle because I think there's an opportunity to accomplish some things here. Not to overlook my opponent because I'm doing it one fight at a time, but if I could beat Goodjohn, I could get a title shot at BKB, and winning a BKB world title would be sort of a feather in my hat to add to the accolades that I've accomplished in boxing.
So to be clear, you're not back just for a one-off swan song. This is like a proper return, several fights?
I'm not planning to be back for a one-off swan song, but I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I'm also not a spring chicken. So although I do feel good, it's also a situation where, like I said, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Before agreeing to this, did you obviously you're most well known from the Sweet Science, right? Queensberry rules with the big gloves, the padded gloves. Did you look around and see if there were options out there? Once you decide you're going to come back, did you see what else was out there, or was it always BKB?
There's things being discussed even in glove boxing. There's possibly something discussed with Misfits that's been broadly discussed. But again, it's not, Misfits is cool. I think it will be actually a good fit, and it may still happen. I'm not for sure going to say yes or no in that direction because I could do both. But the reason I went this way for now is because, like I said, there's a chance to accomplish something here. In boxing, the accomplishment is a world championship. I know what that feels like. I've won it, but I also know that I probably can't win one at this point in my life. So if I combine the finances and the accomplishing goals, I thought that bare knuckle was the way to go for now, But Misfits is being discussed as well, and it could possibly happen. I think it could be a good fit.
Who would that be against?
It wasn't really discussed that deeply,
Okay.
It's kind of a slow moving conversation.
Fair enough.
But if it happens, then we'll discuss that option as well. It was a slow moving conversation, and like I said, I think it's a fit for somebody like me, but I also think that I generate more motivation to try to accomplish something like winning a championship. And with BKB, I may be able to do that, you know?
And how long was this training camp for? Like, how long did you have to prepare, and how did your body feel since it's been so long since you've done one of these?
I've been probably training for about 6 months, but
oh wow.
But I mean, I'll tell you what, I've had there's a saying, you train smarter, not harder. I've definitely done that. I haven't been able to spar as much as I would have liked to in the past, you know, so I had to adjust that. I adjusted more so my strength training, my conditioning. You know, I needed to condition my body first for a training camp before going into a training camp, and I've done that almost the entire time. I started working with my good friends Don Jaffardino and Seb Stolter at ADEX Mace Clubs, which is sort of a different kind of strength training. Sort of I don't know if people have seen the Iron Sheik videos with lifting it would look like bowling pins.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, I'm not lifting heavy with those, but there's a program there that mixes both movement and weights together, you know, and so I've done a lot of that as well. Nothing heavy, but also something that conditions my body for, you know, both the movement of fighting and as well as the ability to have, the strength and being able to deal with, you know, the physical sport like combat sports, you know. Also, as far as the boxing is concerned, like I said, we've not done as much sparring because, you know, back in the day, I was always a heavy believer in heavy sparring, violent sparring. I was a product of gym wars, and my career is a product of gym wars. And I think that, you know, no matter what medical experts may want to say or not say, I believe that's the way you get to the top, you know. So it was a different thing for me to not be able to do that as often, at least, because, you know, I used to do that every 2 days when I was in training camps in my prime. And now you do that and you're like, whoa, I'm out of commission from sparring for quite longer than 2 days now, you know, to recover. So, but when I recover and when I'm sharp, I am good. So the way I look at it is, even fight night may be difficult, maybe a physical go of it, but I'm sharp and I'm good. So even if I'm very sore for a longer period of time than maybe I would have been in the past, it doesn't matter because at that point it will have ended the next day, you know, so I can recover. But when I'm not sort of debilitated, I do feel sharp. I do feel the timing is good. We've worked a lot of nervous system training with the strength work. So there's a lot of good reaction and speed stuff. And I think we're ready for it on Saturday night.
Like, it's fight week. You're about to fight in what, 4 days? These emotions you haven't felt in a while. Are you nervous? Are you anxious? What are you feeling 4 days out?
I feel curious more so, you know,
Okay.
I feel good right now. So I'm curious to see, like, am I overconfident in myself? You know, I feel good. I feel like I said, we've done a lot of, even if we haven't done a lot of sparring, we've done a lot of nervous system training, you know, which is a lot of explosiveness and a lot of reaction stuff, you know, and that has really worked well. You know, I've got a good spring in my legs. I've got good snap in my shots, and things of that nature. You know, obviously we had to load more on pad work since we weren't sparring, mid and pad work. And again, my speed is there, my work is there. So I don't want to be overconfident because, you know, you never want to do that. So there's more of a curiosity, you know, like, am I really feeling this good, or am I lying to myself? You know, so it's not really so much nerves because we've done this so much that we kind of know how to control those. They're always there, but it's more so, I feel good. Like, let's see if it's real on Saturday night, you know?
For those that may not know, we were just talking about BKFC before you came on. What's the difference between BKFC and BKB, and why do you like BKB better?
The biggest difference is 3-minute rounds instead of 2-minute rounds. BKB does 3-minute rounds. BKFC does 2-minute rounds. And the Trigon. The Trigon is a smaller surface. There's less room to maneuver, less room to work with. So I think it enforces more contact. And especially in a 3-minute round, there's a lot more contact, right? So I do think it's more physically demanding, more physically debilitating. It can be, but at the same time, if you know how to fight, you know how to fight anywhere. You know how to make your style work anywhere. And so I don't mind that part of it. Why BKB? Because I've worked with BKB for a long time. They've been very good to me. And I saw that my fight with BKFC 6 years ago was a big springboard for them, and I was glad to do that. You know, they were professional guys and worked with me well, but I feel like BKB has given me a lot of opportunities in commentating and keeping my name relevant, and I thought it was only a natural marriage to do this with them.
Well, I think you're still very relevant. Like I said, the YouTube channel is great. The stuff you do with Pro Box is great from a commentary standpoint. And I just wanted to ask you about some of that stuff. Obviously, one that we've been talking a lot on this show has been the Ali Act because of, Zuffa and Dana White getting into the world of boxing. More has been said. I saw you talk about it a couple times. Now that we've had a little bit more time to digest, we know they're going on Paramount. We're hearing what Dana is saying about the promotion, the amount of events, Contender Series. Like, how do you feel about their entry into the world of boxing?
Ariel, I don't know if you want to go down this road with me, man. I got respect for you, but as a person, but as media, I see you as sort of the rest of the guys in the media. You guys don't ask the tough questions. You guys are a bit of kind of kiss asses.
Me.
And when it comes to you guys too, I mean, Dana, do you ever ask Dana the tough question? Do you ever push back on Dana? You ever push back on Dana?
I haven't been to a UFC event. I haven't been to a UFC event.
And gives a lot of bullshit answers to people, and nobody pushes back. Like, he literally lies. He's lying. He'll answer the question for me. I'm not saying necessarily you, but just a person in the media. They know he's lying when he answers the question, and they don't say, "Dude, you're lying. Come on." Like that. It's like this. It's not like that. Instead of they'll just take the answer at his word for it, even despite knowing he's lying. They're just happy they got to ask a question to the fascinating Dana White. If a guy lies to your face, he has no respect for you. So, and he has no respect for the fan base, right? So the guy constantly lies. So,
wait, one second. Before you continue, with all due respect, if you're going to say that, come with facts and come with your research. The last time I spoke to Dana White was 2016. The last time I did an interview with Dana White was 2016. Are you referring to an interview that I did with Dana White in 2016? You're obviously not. The last time I went to a UFC event was 2020. So, Paulie, with all due respect, don't be disrespectful. You don't know what you're talking about. I don't go to UFC events. I don't go to UFC events. I'm not the dudes you're talking about. So don't lump me in with them. I understand what you're saying, and I'm critical of them. But don't lump me in with the guys because you have no idea what you're talking about. I haven't been to a UFC event in 5 years.
Okay, so I won't lump you in with the Dana.
Thank you.
But the same applies to you when you ask Conor McGregor questions. He's a bullshit artist, and
I haven't talked to him in 2.5 years, but fair.
You know he was bullshitting you, and you just took the responses at face value instead of giving.
So now you're moving the goalposts. Now you're moving the goalposts.
I'm not even saying pushback. No, hold on.
I'm talking about Dana White getting into boxing. What does that have to do with Conor McGregor? Do you not have respect for me as an interviewer? Why are you here?
I'm not that guy. You're not that guy with Dana White, but you're still that guy, Eric. Well, you guys in the media are all that guy.
Why are you?
I don't play the media game. I don't play the media game because
you're in the media. You're in the media.
Yeah, I'm in the media. It's a hobby for me. What
are you talking about? You're talking about making money.
I don't need to go to. Okay, it's about making money. Everything's about making money, Ariel.
What are you talking about? Everything's about making. You're the one talking.
It's not about making money. Not everything's about making money.
You were just talking at the beginning about moving and investments and going to Italy. What are you talking about? You're the one that brought up money at the beginning of this.
No, you asked me the question what it was, okay? And I told you it's a part of it is that and a part of it is this.
Okay, but you did bring up money.
On the money. Don't need to always harp on the money. The money was a part of it. That wasn't the only response I gave you, Ariel. Anyway,
you say that being in media is hobby. So what is your day job? Like what is not your hobby? What's your professional career then?
Paulie TV is my hobby. Pro Box TV is my day job.
Okay, that's media.
That's media, yeah. But
they're both media.
I do media at my way. Nobody tells me what to do or how to do it. That's why I don't get invited to the credential list and everything else, because I do media my way.
Okay.
People know I'm going to push back. People know I'm going to say what I'm going to say. People know they can't control me, and people know I'm going to speak up when something's wrong. So therefore, I don't get invited. So therefore, that's why I say it's a hobby. Because for me, at Pro Box TV,
you're still doing media.
Get the respect I deserve. Yes, okay, good point. But I get the respect I deserve. I don't have to be told to say this or stay away from this. I can do whatever I want.
And you're saying we do here? You're saying we do here?
Ariel, again,
what's your beef?
Saying there are certain questions that you guys don't ask certain people. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, and I can't be that guy. I am not that guy. So I don't know how we even got on this topic. You asked me a question.
I asked you a question about Dana White getting into it, and you said you want to go down this path because I offer him softballs. I haven't talked to the guy in almost 10 years. 10 years I haven't talked to him.
Let's go to Dana White conversation. Yeah, with Dana White, I stand corrected, Ariel. You actually have a pushback against Dana, but again, you have to.
I got banned from the I got my credentials revoked.
But Ariel, if you're gonna be a pushback guy, you got to be a pushback guy either way. Like for example, with me and Deontay Wilder were cool. When I said he got robbed by Tyson Fury, I didn't say, "Oh no, he's my buddy." I'm not gonna say he robbed Tyson Fury the first fight. I said it anyway. You know what? We stopped talking. Doesn't matter. I do my job. Right? If I'm gonna
respect, that's why I gave you respect.
I'm gonna stand the way I'm gonna stand for it, whether it's convenient to me or not convenient to me, because there's a right and a wrong way to do things. Anyway, let's go back to what we were saying. With the Ali Act and whatnot. And Dana said they've generated Zuffa. They generate billions of dollars. It's great for the sport. The UFC model has shown that it generates billions of dollars. Billions of dollars for who, dude? Not for the fighters. When a guy I like Dana White talks about this model generates billions of dollars and so on and so forth. Let's say it did, even for boxing. Let's say if it did. Without the Ali Act, you know what it's going to be because his resume, his body of work already tells you what it's going to be. His body of work tells you that it's going to be all for the corporate sponsors, all for the big shots, including him, and very little piece of it goes to the fighters. So when we talk about how is this thing going to benefit this or how is this thing going to benefit that, it's not like we're talking to a guy who doesn't already have a prior road, a resume that you can look back on and say, how does he behave? How does he do things? How does he behave financially? This guy robs fighters left, right, and center. You could say allegedly, right? I mean, because you could say, considering the main event purses of UFC fighters compared to what the UFC shows generate, where's all the money going? It ain't the majority of the money ain't going to the fighters like it would in boxing if a fighter generates that kind of money. But yet then this guy goes on a Joe Rogan podcast and he'll talk about how he lost $1 million in one night. Money that he's robbing from fighters. All right. So that's not a person I can respect coming into my business or any business. If he stays away from me, I stay away from him. I don't need to talk about him. But we're going to talk about a guy like that. No, boxing doesn't need a guy like that. Boxing already has had plenty of people like that we've already dealt with. The boxing landscape, regardless of having people like that, and if people could get away with it, they would, obviously. But boxing has a landscape through the Ali Act that prevents that kind of demented, perverse taking advantage of fighters to that degree. At least boxing has that protection. By removing the Ali Act, you risk not having that protection. That's all I'm saying. And sure. and there's going to be different options, different opinions. Look at Francis Ngannou. What do you have to do? What do you have to do to make him boxing? Look at Conor McGregor himself. Speaking of McGregor, he had to go to boxing to make that kind of money. So ultimately, why did those guys go to boxing? Because boxing allowed that kind of loophole, right? That the UFC, the MMA in general, does not allow, right? So in an open market, the fighter has more advantage if he reaches the top. Now, people will say, "Oh, lower level to lower level, it's similar purses." Yeah, of course. Lower level to lower level, similar purses. But I made this example not long ago. I remember looking at at the end of my career, looking at a Max Holloway versus Volkanovski fight matchup, and there was purses being discussed on a website. I looked at Max Holloway's purse. Max Holloway was still a top star at that time. I was at the end of my boxing career. Guy was making the same money I was making in boxing at that time, not at my prime, at that time. Okay. Now, granted, maybe he had a couple of pay-per-view points, which gave him a little bit more money. But this is a guy who probably is going to be a UFC Hall of Famer in his prime years at the time, and he's making what I'm making at the end of my career. Okay, dude, that's not a guy anybody should be working for in combat sports. All right, bro. Like people broach the conversation, talk to the conversation. This is not a good person. Not that boxing is full of good people either, but I'm saying this person himself is changing the landscape, not for the better in any way, especially for the fighters and for the competitors.
What do you think about the idea of having their own belt and getting rid of the WBC? He says he's not going to acknowledge those. Is that good or bad?
I have my beef with the sanctioning bodies, Ariel. You know, I think we all do, right? I mean, they're in that way. But let me tell you something. The sanctioning bodies, because MMA fans are not that intelligent, and I've said that over and over again, and I'm going to give you an example of why they're so stupid, all right? In MMA, for example, they'll say, oh, everybody fights everybody. The UFC makes all these fights. But in MMA, you actually do have several belts. You have a Bellator belt, you have a PFL belt.
Bellator no longer around, but I get your point. Bellator no longer around.
We have one. I'm a casual, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Sorry. I just don't want anyone to hit you back saying you're a casual, so I'm correcting you here.
No, but it's okay. They can say I'm a casual because I am a casual with MMA. I do watch the occasional MMA fight, but I'm not a hardcore. But okay, so it's ONE FC, it's PFL, UFC, right? Those are the main promotions essentially, right? So you do have several belts. They can't cross each other ever. So the leagues that they create, they can never cross each other. So just because they can never cross each other doesn't mean you're getting all the fights. Because personally, if a fan had any level of intelligence past the point of being retarded, they would say, wow, I want to watch the fighter who's the champion at ONE against the champion who's in the same weight class at the UFC, or the champion in the same weight class at PFL. I want to see what that looks like, just like we do in boxing. Okay, so then when they tell you in boxing, oh, this champion can't make this champion, they make too many champions, and then they don't fight. Yes, there is politics involved, and when sometimes one champion is one promoter and another champion is with another promoter, fights we want to see don't happen, and that sucks. I get it, but you know what? In special occasions, they do cross promote because the fight is good enough, and they'll say, you know what? Let's just make it happen. In MMA, you don't even have that hope. Okay, the line is so drawn in the sand, you can't have that hope. The UFC champion will never fight the PFL champion. The PFL champion will never fight the ONE champion, and so on and so forth in the same weight class. Those are the fights you should be asking for and should be seeing. Now, just the fan base is so stupid, doesn't mean that that's not the same conversation.
It's not the fan, Paulie. You're disrespecting the fan base. It's not the fan. It's
not.
We could cry until the cows come home about seeing the
Ariel,
PFL champion who 1% of the public knows.
The comment, Ariel, and you're right, but the
no one wants to see that. No one's asking for this.
They don't mention it.
No one's asking for this. Yes, we have
They
been.
don't ask for it because they're too stupid to know it's possible.
No, you're wrong about that. You're wrong about that. What do you mean too stupid? What does too stupid mean?
That's not want to see the PFL champion or the one champion.
It's not about wanting. It's not about wanting.
Somebody want to see who the best in the world is.
I want to fly. It's not happening.
In boxing, we want to see that.
It's not happening because of the structure. Because of the structure of the sport. It's like.
And you're going to tell me that, okay, so you're answering your own questions.
Yes.
That structure of the sport, you want to bring that into boxing.
I don't want to bring anything, man. I'm just asking you questions. I don't want to bring anything. What are you talking about?
All right,
I don't work for these guys. I think you got me confused with someone else. I'm actually not really that cool with them, to be honest.
Okay, so that's fine. That's fair play. That's my beef. That's my beef.
I think you think that I'm some sort of like face of MMA. I'm just a dude asking questions here, all right? That's it.
Either way.
And I'm asking a lifer, I'm asking a boxing savant what he thinks of this. Because I've heard some people be like, you know what? I'm tired of the alphabet soup belts. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. You know what? Bring these guys in. I've heard people say it. Look, Terrence Crawford seemed pretty happy.
Who have you heard? The $2 shoemaker promoter tell you who he gets no opportunity?
No, fighters.
Anyway?
Terrence Crawford seemed very happy being up there with Dana White, right? He seemed very happy.
But he's being used as a pawn up there. Guys like Canelo, because now you're using these big money guys. You're going to pay them the same money. Of course, you're going to pay them. But you're bringing in a new regime where you won't pay them the same way anymore. See, this is the way they're doing it if you really look at it. And if I'm interpreting it correctly, they're paying the fighters from the old regime high money to make it interesting, right? But then as those guys are going to eventually age out, you're signing new guys out of the amateurs. And those new guys you sign out of the amateurs are going to be constricted to those new contracts where the ceiling is not high, and they're not grandfathered into the old regime of pay scale. So while the guys who are grandfathered in eventually age out, the new guys get put on this new pay scale, and little by little, what you create is an entirely new pay scale, which will be similar to the.
How do you feel about Turkey getting involved in the big money that's going to these big stars, these fights being made?
I think Turkey has done a lot of good things as far as making good matchups. I think he's done very good matchups. I think we've seen matchups in boxing thanks to Turkey that we probably would not have seen. So in that regard, I can't say anything bad about the guy. I think he's done well, and I think the fights have been entertaining. The fighters have been paid well, and so on and so forth. My problem is you're working with Dana. Why are you working with Dana? What's the issue with Dana, who does the opposite of what you're doing? You're planning to make big fights for big money and make pay the fighters they're just worth, and also make the big fights. Dana's trying to create a whole new league, starting from scratch, little by little, and which I don't think is going to work unless you completely eliminate the competition. That's another thing, Ariel. That could be another conversation we could probably talk an hour about. In MMA, it was such a new sport. He had Fertitta money to buy out all the competition, and so therefore there was no other competition. In boxing, unless you plan to buy out the Matchrooms of the world and the Top Ranks of the world, well, Top Rank actually doesn't have a TV deal, so that's an
Queensberry,
right, the Matchroom,
Golden Boy,
yep. They're gonna be remaining on the old pay scale. So fighters are gonna be, top level fighters are gonna be making more money than the top level fighters under the Zuffa banner, right? Because if the Zuffa banner has this ceiling, you're gonna also be ruining their records because they're gonna also be fighting each other, just like in the UFC. Because that's one thing I do say about the UFC. You have journeyman records on fighters that are not journeymen. Why? Because they all fight each other inside that league, right? So by boxing standards, that record is journeyman, but in reality, those are world-class fighters.
Sure.
So, but what you're doing, you don't have, you actually, that's the standard in that sport, so it's okay. In boxing, what you're doing is, unless you eliminate all the competition, you're going to have fighters with the other promoters getting to top level with 30-0 records. And now you're going to have top level fighters with Zuffa having 17-5 records. And now when you want to make those interceding fights for make a super fight, okay, we'll take it to Turkey now, we'll make a big fight. You're not going to get the interest of a 30-0 guy fighting a 17-5 guy. You're not going to get that same interest anymore.
In fairness to Turkey, though, he's still working with Matchroom. He's not just with Dana, though. In fairness to him, he's still, he's doing Eubank Bend.
Yeah, he's still, yes, he is. But what I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying, that in Matchroom, you're going to still have these guys getting to 25-30, prospects being built to contenders, being built to champions, like the old boxing model. And in the Zuffa model, it's everybody fights everybody. It's a free-for-all. Granted, it's fun to watch. I get it. Solid matchups from the top down. But you know what? Even the really good fighters are taking losses. So now when you get to the top level, top pay scale, like I said, you got a guy with a 20-5 record, and you want to match him with the Matchroom champion who's a 30-0 fighter. That's going to be hard to sell. to boxing fans. That's going to be, even if in reality, I would agree that that's an even fight, right? But because it will be world class to world class. And I could see that even the 25 guy might be world class. But to the regular boxing fan, that's a hard sell. Now you're not going to sell the same way anymore. You know, these things are built a certain way. So yeah, again, these are a lot of questions that have to be brought to the table. You know, I don't know.
It's good stuff. It's good that we're talking. Now, what's the issue with Conor? What's the issue with? I know the old issue, but like that was 9 years ago. So what's the issue now?
The issue, bro. You don't see this. This guy still posts stories about me, bro. What are you guys out of your
mind? Still.
Well, up until like less than 6 months ago, he was still posting stories
about what? What's the
random shit? He was. The last story he posted was me commentating on a BKB show with Mike Goldberg.
Yeah.
And I think it was in the last 6 to 7 months. Okay, it wasn't. And then what else? I mean, he just randomly posts stories about me still. Like the ass whipping he called. That's what I'm telling you guys, bro. You guys never push back on the ass whipping he got, bro. The ass whipping from an out of shape Paulie Malignaggi, no less. That's why. And you could see that the personal thing, because yes, like you said, Ariel, it's been 9 years ago. Like it could be over, right? It could be over. It should be over. But then if I respond, he's got a legion of groupies who like, oh, you can't let it go. What do you mean if I can't let it go? This guy's still obsessing over me. You know what I mean? So
is that the dream? Is that the fight? I mean, I feel like it could happen.
No. Here's the thing. With Conor, there's a stipulation there, and I've said it before. It has to be winner takes all. And I know winner takes all is not allowed on any commission, so it would be a winner takes all, and a loser gets like a $50,000 grant or something like that. You know what I mean? Just so it wouldn't be
Why? Why does that have to be it?
Because he convinced everybody of something that is completely fabricated and false. And the difference between us is like night and day. So it wouldn't just be a supreme ass whipping he would catch. Weight difference and all, honestly. At this point, it wouldn't even matter the weight. I would still beat the shit out of the guy. But it would have to be not only that ass whipping, but also the fact that he would have to take that short money, winner takes all, essentially. And that would never happen because he's never going to agree to that because he knows what really happened between us that day in the gym. Okay, so that's not going to happen anyway. But if we talk about the dream and all this other stuff, gladly, I would love to beat the shit out of the guy because for me, it's like, you know, it's on a personal level. It's on.
Have you ever presented that to him? Like, have you ever tried at least to present that? I know you've kind of said it.
I've said it in interviews. No, I've said it in interviews.
But like, has there been any talks between representatives, managers, things like that?
No, not to that degree. No, not to that degree. But I've said, you know, they know that's what I would have offered was a winner takes all.
What about an Artem rematch?
The Artem rematch? I don't know. I mean, is there interest for that? I mean, I guess there's.
He came back. He came back, and then he got hurt. But there was a lot of excitement when he came back.
You know, the thing about that fight is, okay, I broke my hand in the fight, right? I broke my hand in the fight, and yes, it's closer than it should have been because I broke my hand in the fight. But this again, it goes back to the MMA fans. Like, the only boxing site that covered it had me winning. And people are gonna say, "Oh, it's not boxing; it's bare knuckle." Buddy, in any combat sport, whoever lands more punches wins the fight. I don't care what combat sport we're talking about. Whoever lands more shots wins the fight. Okay, so in that fight. You say, oh, it's not boxing. But then why was he boxing me? Why, if it was not boxing, why was he boxing me? Because he had no choice, dude. I was boxing and I was controlling the pace and I was controlling the fight, even with one hand. That's how in control of the fight I was, even with one hand. The fact that I didn't get a decision and the fact that the MMA media and nobody latched onto the fact that I got robbed showed me just how stupid the entire base is over there, bro. Because in boxing, it would have been
this was bare knuckle. Why not the bare knuckle media? Why is it the MMA media?
Because
it wasn't an MMA fight.
Ariel. Yeah, the MMA media is the bare-knuckle media, dude. They cross-promote each other. I wish boxing would cover more.
They don't.
I really do. I wish. I should give you credit for covering all of it. But they don't. Boxing doesn't. So only one website covered it, and they had me winning. But like I said, when people gave me it's not boxing, it's bare knuckle. Buddy, any combat sport, more strikes wins. I don't know what we're talking about here. I don't know if it's not really that complicated. More strikes wins, you know. But more so than that, like I said, the ring generalship of the fight was a boxing match. That was on me, bro. That wasn't Artem. Artem wasn't trying to keep it a boxing match. That was on me. I kept it a boxing match, you know. So the fight was easy to score. Just because you had three morons judging it doesn't mean that the rest of the fan base know how to get in there and also become moronic and not understand who really won the fight. So is there an interest in the rematch? I guess there could be. I mean, I don't know. Listen, I give Artem credit. He hung tough. He took the fight. He doesn't know I'm going to break my hand. If I don't break my hand, I'd probably stop him. But you know what? Give him credit. He took it. He hung tough, and he got the decision in the end. But I don't know. Ariel, you tell me. Would there be interest in that fight? I don't know.
I think there's interest. I think people like Artem. I think people like the history between you guys.
I like the guy too, to tell you the truth.
Yeah,
I think
he's the GOAT.
It pretty well. And afterwards, he wasn't going around saying anything like that before. You know,
Nah,
I
he's
said,
a good
bro,
guy.
we're cool. Just stop lying, bro. You know what I mean? Like, don't lie on behalf of Conor. You know Conor's a fucking liar. Just don't lie on behalf of the guy. And honestly, it stopped. So,
All right.
there's not even a personal beef there. So I don't know. I mean, if there's interest, if Artem wants to do it, I guess it could be discussed. But right now, I can only take into account Tyler Goodjohn on Saturday night, because that's really what's in front of me, guys.
BKB 45. No, actually, it's 47. Leeds Brawl 2, Tyler Goodjohn versus Paulie Malignaggi. Great to have you on, Paulie. I actually have Dana standing by for my first interview with him in 10 years. So I'm going to ask him all the softball questions, kiss his butt. It's going to be great. I hope we're good, man. I got respect for you.
Yeah,
and,
all right, we're good, man.
All right,
we're good. Even if listen, I'm the kind of person, even if I disagree, I'm good.
All right.
With somebody, I can disagree with friends. I can disagree with enemies. Like I'm not the kind of person where if I disagree with you, now I don't talk to you. I'm not that guy. I know.
I appreciate it. No, it's all good. I like the energy. I like the fire. Makes me want to see the fight even more. And I wish you the best. And hopefully we can continue some of these conversations, because I did really enjoy it.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, Paulie. All the best to you. Take care. There he is, Paulie Malignaggi. A very Italian show today. We went from Mikey Musumeci to Paulie Malignaggi. He came out swinging there. What do you think? Was that an old school? 10-8, 10-7 Helwani? I mean, the facts were a little comme ci, comme ça. I think he was confusing me with someone else, honestly, because I haven't. The last interview that I did with Dana White was February of 2016 in London. Before Michael Bisping versus Anderson Silva, for goodness sakes. All right. My daughter wasn't even born yet, and she's about to turn 9. So what are we talking about? Anyway, let's move on. Looking forward to having Ian Machado Garry on at 3:30, but very much looking forward and very much appreciate the fact that Cory Sandhagen is here. Of course, we saw him not that long ago, a little over a week ago at UFC 320 in Las Vegas, fought valiantly, a big comeback for him, I thought, after the second round against Merab. Was refusing to quit, won a round later in the fight as well. I believe off the top of my head, it was the 4th. In the end, I don't think that he's a moral victory kind of guy, and I know that he's upset, and so I appreciate him coming on to talk about the fight and, of course, where he goes from here. The Sandman is kind enough to join us on this Tuesday afternoon. This is going to be a lot more pleasant than my previous interview, because that guy was coming out swinging. You know Paulie Malignaggi, Cory?
Yeah, I'm a little familiar with who that is. Yeah, I watched the end of it just now while I was waiting, and that guy has a lot of energy.
Yes, a lot. And it was very intense at the beginning, but he calmed down towards the end. Anyway, great to see you, man. I really do appreciate it. And I'll ask you the simple question that we ask sometimes in hopes of maybe just getting a good response, but this is a real question. How are you doing? How are you dealing with what transpired over a week ago?
I'm doing all right. It obviously sucks to lose, but I'm not too down in the dumps right now, but it kind of just like hits you in waves a little bit. But no, I'm doing okay. I obviously wish that I would have won. I wish that I would have had the fight go my way, and there's some things to work on and all of that stuff, but I'm a little bit more mature now than I have been in the past, just with dealing with losses, and then I've been here before, so it's not super surprising with the feelings and all of that stuff. But I mean, it definitely sucks. I wish that I was champ right now, but I'm not. So
you posted a video maybe 3 or 4 days after the fight. You were walking outside and you said, last night I watched the fight, I can't sleep. Are you sleeping a little bit a week later? Are you able to like let it go at night?
Yeah, I can sleep. I was being maybe a little dramatic. Like I said, man, I've been kind of here before, so like I'm kind of just used to the feelings of, being like, damn, I wish that would have happened. I wish that would have gone differently. I wish that I would have trained better and gotten ready for this, or made this decision instead of that. But I'm also familiar with that those don't ever go anywhere, so yeah, I'm just kind of working on some other projects that I've had going for quite a bit of time now. I'm working on getting a couple of my comic books illustrated, so that's really fun. And then I'm working on my super secret business.
Oh,
I can't. I'm not going to tell anyone about it, but we're about 6 months away from it, and it's going to be sick.
Wow.
I'm excited to launch it. So yeah, so I've kind of just been distracting myself with positive stuff like that.
What field are we talking about when you talk about this business? No, nothing?
I don't think I'm gonna give you.
Wow.
It's yeah. I think I'm gonna stay away from anything. But I'm telling you, it's really cool, and it's something that I invented and came up with. So
Wow.
I'm excited about that. Yeah. So one of my like many dumb ideas, finally I feel like hit, and it's a good idea, and I'm excited about that.
So 6 months or so. So we're talking like April, spring next year, that time period.
Yeah, I think so. That's like a little bit optimistic because I'm trying not to mess it up. You know, like I've never run a business before, so I got to make sure that all of my ducks are in a row and stuff. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. So I'll tell you guys about that as it gets closer. But yeah, I've just been kind of distracting myself with the other little projects that I got going on in life and trying not to be sad.
What were the vibes like going into the fight? How are you feeling mentally, physically? When you look back on fight week, massive opportunity for you. How are you doing?
Yeah, I was doing great. I was ready to go. I had like a really big belief in myself that I was going to be able to win, and I think that that kind of really, I think, obviously I didn't, so I was wrong in my belief, but I think that that belief really helped me get through that really horrible second round that I was in. And yeah, I was happy with a lot of the things and that I did in the fight and some of the ways that I reacted to certain things and some of the things that worked really well and some improvements and stuff. Going into the fight, I felt great. And yeah, Merab just was a better man that day. Merab has a really good blueprint to winning fights. He's really good at doing his blueprint, and it works and it wins, and good for him. I was expecting a little bit different stuff from him a little bit, but yeah, I was good going into the fight. Congrats to Merab for beating me at what I think is my best.
I thought you won the first round. What are you thinking going into the second at that point? What are you telling yourself? What's your team saying to you? What are you feeling? What's your confidence like going into that second?
Yeah, I didn't think about it too much. It's so hard, man, because I know that like no one can hold me down. Like I know that I'm gonna get like mat returned a few times in a fight, especially against good wrestlers, but that doesn't really bother me. I kind of don't really know what it looks like a ton aesthetically, but obviously if it's too many in a row, then it's a big deal. But I know in that first round I got maybe mat returned a couple times, but popped right back up. I'm really good at not getting hit on the ground, and I'm really good at getting up. But I still don't really know how those are scoring. So I wasn't like, oh, I won that round, I didn't win that round. It was like, all right, well, I did all of the right things in that round, so hopefully I won it type of thing. In the second, though, I think I just got maybe a little hair cocky just because Merab, when he would blitz, he was kind of getting a little bit wide with his shots, which we scouted, and he does do good, or he does get really wide and kind of open for shots. And I just sat down on a hook that I thought would hit him in between his punches against the cage. And I had one of those shots that kind of like bounce off the top of your head and then it like spins you for a second. But because I was against the cage, not a good situation. And then he hit me with a really good right hand, and that sucked. And then I just remember my coaches just yelling from the corner, get up, move, move, move. So the second round definitely didn't go as planned, but it was like a baby mistake that I made and one that I shouldn't have made. And that's the way that this shit goes, man. So
how close do you think you were out?
I wasn't out. Like, I remember I was like, oh shit, I'm a little wobbled, And then when he hit me with the second one, I opened my eyes and I was on the ground and I could just hear my coaches yelling, get up and move. By the time that I was up, I was all good. So that was good. But I was definitely in my head like, all right, well, that's not good. You got some ground to cover now, but you still got 3 more rounds and you can still do awesome in those 3 rounds. So just ignore that. But yeah, I wasn't rocked the whole fight or nothing. I was just rocked for that little short bit. And then when I feel like I got to my feet, I was okay.
Okay, yeah, because I was just going to ask, did you feel like you were still kind of clearing out the cobwebs in the third? I thought you won the fourth. But I'm wondering if you still needed more time because it was such an onslaught in the third as well.
I think I was pretty flustered, I would say. Like I was mentally way thrown off, which is tough not to, because like that shit's kind of scary. Like when you get dropped in a fight, it's like kind of scary. You're like, oh no, like I'm gonna get hurt really bad right now, and that can kind of fluster you for a little bit. So I think more than anything, it was less me being super dazed and messed up as much as it was probably Merab felt like he could have gotten a finish or it gave him some spark of life to do a little bit more in that third round and maybe go for a finish. So it was probably him fighting better in the third than it was me fighting bad, to be honest. And that's because, he had a lot of confidence from that second.
Top of my head, I don't recall you ever getting rocked, at least on the UFC. I mean, maybe in the early days. Have you ever been rocked like that before?
I've been hit pretty good. I think Jan's the only other guy that dropped me.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, man, it was tough because like if one of my fighters would have made that mistake, I would have been like, dude, don't try to catch him in between his punches against the cage. Like that's a bad idea. And then also it's really tough too, because with those little MMA gloves, you have to be so precise with like covering yourself as you're throwing punches. And it was totally just a left hook. I threw a left hook at the same time that he threw a right hand, and it just bounced off the top of my head and sent me spinning for a second. And there's just like such little room for error in those little gloves. But also, man, good on Merab. He was a strong little hard hitting guy that I didn't expect him to hit as hard as he did.
47 takedown attempts, which is an absurd number. Obviously, he landed the 20, which has been talked about a lot. Did anything surprise you about his technique?
No, I mean the 20 takedowns is kind of funny to me because I think that if you watch that fight, you're not going to be like, wow, Merab's wrestling was super impressive, because what's a takedown without any control?
Right.
You know? It's kind of just, I mean, like mat returns don't hurt. You know what I mean? Like it's not like he was picking me up and slamming me, or like if you just bump me down to my knees and I just have to get back up, that to me is not like a quote unquote MMA takedown. That's like maybe it scores points in wrestling, but I mean, you're not doing any damage and you're not doing anything with those. And I know who's working harder in those positions, and it's Merab. Like it's way harder to hold someone down and continue to mat return someone than it is to continue to get up. I was really surprised though at Merab like being so adamant about keeping his hands locked. There's types of grips too. Like there's this type of grip and then there's this type of grip.
Mm-hmm.
The S grip is like not great for like making things tight so that you could pick someone up and slam them. It's really, really good for just keeping a lock on someone. And that's the type of lock that he was using. So, I was actually really surprised that he was really adamant about staying on those body locks for so long. I thought like a lot of his other fights, he'll kind of like fight for that a little bit, but then let go and start punching. And I was kind of expecting him to do that, but he made me fight his grip the whole time, and he milked a lot of clock doing that. And it's like kind of a little bit of it's a gamey way to win, but I mean, it's kind of like basketball. You can't get mad at a team for running a 2-3 zone instead of going man to man, or you can't get mad at like a football team for running the ball when they're up and stuff like that. So, yeah, so I mean, good on him, man. He knows how to win really good, and he did what he needed to do. So,
how many times have you watched it?
A few times, not in a couple of days. I was kind of out in New York spending some time with my family. I had one of my fighters fight last week on LFA, so I was at his show.
You were in New York. You could have stopped by here. You could have come visit us.
Oh, it was a quick trip.
All right.
Next time I'll hit you up. But
it's all good.
But yeah, I mean, I watched it a few times. It's definitely a winnable fight. This thing, I think fighting, a lot of it is just X's and O's and ones and zeros, and you just got to like do the right things at the right times. And Merab was better than me that night, and I just got to fix some stuff, and then I definitely know that I could still do it. So
the reason I asked that, part of the reason why I asked that was, I totally understand what you're saying regarding the takedowns. How many would you actually give him upon further review? How many do you think he actually, in MMA terms, landed that you would say, all right, that's one?
Here's the thing, not to be arrogant, but like my wrestling takedown defense might not be the best, but there's no one that can hold me down, I promise. So like, and maybe that even makes me a little bit like treat the takedowns a little bit too much nonchalantly, is because I know that I get up better than anyone in the division can hold me down. So it's kind of like, even when he did get a takedown and I went to my back maybe once or twice in the 5th round, it was because I was like, all right, like, let me try to throw up a submission. I'm losing kind of big here. So like, let me try to go for a submission a little bit. But I feel like at any point on any of those takedowns, I could have gotten up immediately. Most of them I did do. So, I mean, do you score him takedowns? I don't. If you don't do anything with the takedown, is it a takedown in MMA? Then he probably got 0, I guess. So yeah.
At any point later in the fight, did you feel like momentum was shifting back your way? Did you feel like you had something?
I felt like it's really hard because when you're in those positions where they're kind of just grabbing and not doing a ton, it's hard just because it's like, how do we score this? If it's damage, then I guess he's not really winning, but it definitely is control. So if it's a close round at all, then the other person's gonna win. And it was tough. Merab did a really good job of anytime I felt like I started getting some momentum on the feet, he would shoot in and make me have to deal with that. And then it kind of like flips your brain into another type of thinking that is outside of striking and inside grappling. So he did a really, really good job with that because it got really hard to build momentum and to feel like I was having success even when I would have success on the feet, it was just then I got to defend a shot for another 30 seconds or so. So he did a good job with that. I don't really know. It was hard to gain momentum on him, to be honest.
We found out yesterday he's coming back December 6th. Are you surprised he's coming back so soon?
Yeah, he's an animal for that. All the respect in the world for that because he doesn't have to do that, but he wants to do that. And yeah, that dude is a unique individual, and good for him for fighting again that soon because I would never do that, you know. So good on him.
Do you think he wins that fight against Petr Yan?
I think it's going to be a really tough fight, honestly. I think that he's going to have to do it the same way that he beat me, where he's going to have to like milk some of that time in those wrestling positions and make Yan fight them. The first time they fought, it was like Yan just couldn't get any momentum going. And I do kind of feel like after you have fought a guy like that, it's probably a little bit easier the second time because you can kind of feel that, notice that, and then counter it better. And Yan has that advantage for sure. And yeah, I think it's going to be a super tough fight, but I think Merab will win, but I think it's going to be a way, way tough fight.
You know Yan very well. He told me last week I was 50% in our first fight, him and Merab, and Merab kind of laughs that off. You saw that first fight, I would imagine, your division, you like MMA. Do you think it was because he wasn't 100%, or do you think that Merab is just a bad matchup for him? Because it was a very dominant one-sided fight.
Yeah, it could. I think that honestly, I think that Yan didn't take him as serious that first time. Like I don't know what was going on with the injuries, but when I remember looking back and watching that fight, it seemed like Merab at the time wasn't who Merab is now. Merab was just kind of like an unexciting wrestler who just beat Jose Aldo, I think is probably around that time. And it was kind of just like a little bit lackluster. But now I think Yan will definitely take him a lot more serious. And I think that the whole division takes him a lot more serious, obviously now because he's crushing and beating all of us. But yeah, I think Yan is, I think that he'll definitely take it a lot more serious and it'll be a more competitive fight than the first one would be my guess.
Have you allowed yourself to think of what's next yet? Are you in that mode yet?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Okay.
I think that me and O'Malley has to happen. Right?
There it is. That's the one.
Yeah, if there's ever a time to do it, man, it's now. I don't know if he's booked on anything or that White House card would be sick to fight on against O'Malley. I think that there's one fight in the division that people are like really, really calling for like over and over and over again, and it's me and O'Malley. So,
Yes.
I mean, if you threw us on that White House card, I think that would be such a gigantic fight. It's kind of a ways away, you know, so I'm not stoked on that, but for such a huge card against such a good fighter and a really big opportunity for kind of the both of us to give the fans what they really want to see, it'd be worth waiting for. So that's what I want.
I love the idea. That's the one that we've all wanted to see for so long. My fear is he last fought 4 months ago, and so I worry that the timeline doesn't work out. Like, is he going to take a full year off if it is, in fact, the White House? If they call you up and say, hey, March, let's say, are you down with that, or are you dead set on trying to get this on that card, that White House card?
No, for sure. March is good. You know, definitely don't want to wait that long either. So
Okay.
it would be, yeah, it'd be great to do it earlier too. I just know that that fight, that card is going to be gigantic, and a lot of people are going to watch it, and it's going to be really historic. So that's kind of cool. But I mean, if it just means main eventing somewhere else and fighting O'Malley, then yeah, I got no problem doing that either. I mean, that to me is the biggest fight that you can make in the division outside of a championship fight, and I think it doesn't make too much more sense than it ever has now. So
That's your top choice, right? Is there a top two? Is there another name?
I haven't really thought of a top two. Jan's booked. I really want to get that one back eventually. I think it's too soon to do a rematch with Umar just because it wouldn't be super exciting quite yet to do. But I mean, O'Malley and Jan are definitely the top two that I would love to fight right now.
Can I ask, just because it's your division, I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. Yesterday we found out Peyton Talbot against Henry Cejudo, and I was a little surprised by the matchup just because I know they have high hopes for Peyton and it's such a big jump for him. What do you think of that?
That's a giant leap up in competition. Henry's lost a few now, but I mean, he's losing against some of the best guys. And I mean, when you think about it, I forget the guy's name, Baroni or whoever it is that wrestled Talbot the entire time. That's going to be, I mean, Henry's a much better grappler than that other guy. So, I mean, it's hard for me to imagine Talbot doing super good in that one, but, I don't know, that's a super tough fight for him. I would, even though I think Henry's a little bit checked out in the sport, I think that, he's still a really good fighter, and that's a tough one for Talbot.
Raoni Barcelos was
That's
the name.
right.
And then he came back and beat Felipe Lima, and he looked good, but again, there's a huge gap. And I'm not saying he can't pull it off. Like he can knock him out. He's a great fighter. I just wonder if the risk is worth the reward.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you beat Henry Cejudo, now you're in the mix, right?
Oh hell yeah, yeah. If you beat Henry Cejudo, Henry's good. He's an annoying little guy, but he is damn good. And yeah, I mean, if you beat Henry, then yeah, you're in the conversation with a lot of the other of us about just being one of the top guys.
Since I have you, and again, appreciate your insights, Zahabi Marlon this weekend. What do you think?
Oh yeah, that'll be a good one. I'm not really sure. Cheeto needs to get a win, so I'm hoping that he's taking it really serious. That Amen guy, he figures out ways to win, and he's got a ton of heart and a ton of spirit in him. So yeah, that's an interesting matchup. I'll probably, I guess, just root for Amen just because we need some new faces.
And what about Umar against Mario Bautista? Because I think a lot of people think if Bautista wins, he could be next if Merab beats Jan.
Yeah, he could be. That's pretty crazy to think about. But Batista, I think has his hands full big time against Umar, and that's going to be a really tough fight. Is it a 3-rounder or a 5?
Yeah, it's a 3-rounder on the next pay-per-view card, the 321 card, October 25th.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think that's even like a tougher fight for Batista if it's only 3 rounds. So, I think I got Umar in that one.
Okay. So for you still believe, I heard your video, I feel it now. You still believe, you haven't lost confidence. This is just a bit of a speed bump. You still think your destiny is UFC bantamweight champion.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely have a broken heart, so that kind of sucks, but those always go away. But no, man, this sport to me is X's and O's and it's ones and zeros, and you just have to not make as big of mistakes. Like, you just have to not make mistakes in these, and you have to have everything really dialed in, and I don't have it all the way dialed in yet, but I know that I train really hard and I get better really quickly at a lot of things. I think that I'm only 33. I still got like two solid years of, maybe hopefully 3 solid years of like really high peak level performing, and I know myself, and I know that how good I can get in 3 years, I think that I'll definitely still do it. Hard to kind of say and hard to kind of believe in yourself still after some shit like that happens, but believing in yourself is sometimes the hardest part, and I gotta make sure that even in these challenging times that I can still do that.
I still believe in you.
Yeah, thanks, Ariel. And yeah, I mean, it's not like I got blown out the water. It was just like, nah, man, fix a couple things there, do some things differently there, get better here. Don't let them do that shit. Don't let them almost knock you out in the second round, and then that's a different fight. So yeah.
Do you allow yourself to go back to the gym yet, or are you taking some time off?
I got to take a little bit of time off. I hurt my good foot a little bit, so it's nothing crazy. It'll be better in a little bit, but no, I'm gonna have a broken heart probably for the rest of the week, and then get back to training next week.
Okay, well, get well soon. Don't be too hard on yourself. Great fight. You represented very well, and yeah, I feel like there's an easy path to get right back in that spot in no time. So I look forward to seeing you climb that ladder, so to speak, and I hope you get that O'Malley fight, because it feels like there's no better time than now to make it happen. Really appreciate you coming on, Cory. Thank you so much. Congrats on a great performance, and thank you as always for the insight and the time.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Ariel.
You're the man.
I appreciate you having me on. I'll catch you next time.
Yes, sir. There he is, the great Cory Sandhagen, still one of the very best fighters in the UFC, one of the very best fighters at 135, and appreciate the candor. We just move on to the next one, right? We just move on. There's another thing to talk about, another fight to talk about, another fight week to talk about, another event to talk about, and the dust kind of settles. And when he says broken heart, like you feel that pain, and I feel for him. And that's what fighters go through, and we don't necessarily take the time to think of that and to allow them to have moments like this, because I tend to not ask fighters to come on the show the week after a loss, but sometimes I'll check in if I feel like talk to the management. The second week it's maybe therapeutic. I don't know, but he said yes right away. I appreciate him coming on. Appreciate the insight, and like I said, the candor, and hopefully he gets over it and gets right back on the horse. All right, top of the show, we were talking about how big November is, and in particular, November 15th to November 22nd in the welterweight division. We were sort of wondering, okay, when's the activity going to start at 170? Well, now we know. November 15th, you've got 3 massive welterweight fights. You've got the welterweight title fight between Jack Della Maddalena and Issa Makhachev. You've got Carlos Prates against Leon Edwards. And then just yesterday, we find out Michael Morales against Sean Brady. 3 massive fights. Fast forward a week, Qatar, that fight night, headlined by Arman Tsarukyan against Dan Hooker. Another massive fight at 170 in the co-main event. Belal Muhammad, the former champ, against potential future champ Ian Machado Garry. He's kind enough to join us right here and now to talk about that fight and all the comings and goings. Yeah, there he is. There he is.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. I'm doing well. Yourself?
Dude, I'm happy as can be.
Okay. I have a lot of questions. I'm fascinated by this fight and this booking, Ian. So let's get into it, because I'm happy we're talking today, because now we have the complete picture. I have to admit, I felt like we were moving towards Ian Machado Garry against Sean Brady. I felt like that made all the sense in the world. Number 1 contender fight. That's the one. JDM and Islam do their thing. Winner gets you guys. Winner of your fight. Why are you fighting a week apart but not fighting each other?
We both said yes. It's not my decision as to what the UFC want to do, but we were offered the fight. We both said yes. Never came to fruition. I woke up one morning seeing that RDR and Fluffy Hernandez was announced as the main event in Vancouver. I was like, all right, fuck, I guess it's not happening.
That was the original plan? This weekend, you guys fighting?
Yep.
Wow.
That was what I was offered. I said yes to it.
Do you think he said yes?
I know he said it was. We both the same agent.
Lloyd.
We both said yes.
Right.
We both said yes. UFC just changed their mind.
Do you have any idea why?
I don't care why. If that makes sense. At the end of the day, the truth is, I'm getting what I originally want and sought after when I went to after my fight with Pratis. I wanted whoever came out of the fight from the world title fight not victorious, because those were the 2 best guys at the time, right? If you're fighting for a championship, and that's what matters. And Belal had the belt. He has knocked out number 2 and smashed number 3. So I wanted Belal from the get-go. I said yes to Sean Brady because, as you know, Ariel, if someone offers me a fight, I say yes. But Belal was who I wanted.
I saw your video on your Instagram right after the news came out, and you said you wanted it to be a number one contender fight, and once they couldn't guarantee that, you changed direction. Is that accurate?
No, I wanted to be publicly announced that it was a number one contender fight. Look, me and Sean Brady, you said it yourself at the start of the show, that was the fight to make, and the winner of that goes for the world title. I don't disagree with you at all. I think that makes a lot of sense. However, there was a guy, I said to the UFC, there was like, when you've got someone, personally, I wanted no excuses. I wanted no one to be able to jump the ladder because of any excuses. So from my point of view, I sought after a fight with Belal first, because as I said, Belal has knocked out number 2 in Sean Brady, and he has smashed number 3 in Leon Edwards. So when you smoke Belal, it's obvious what comes next. Now, if I go out there and do that to Sean Brady, someone can have that argument, oh, but you haven't beat this guy, and someone else, and I didn't want any of that. So for me, it actually works out better, Ariel. I'm not going to lie.
Okay. Have you been told, though, you beat Belal, you're next?
When you knock out number 1 in the world, there is nothing else. When you knock out a former champion and who's number 1 in the world right now, and you smash him in less rounds than JDM could, then that's all that matters to me. I know I'm getting a world title fight after this.
I saw another video on your page where I believe it was your cameraman. Someone asked you about the possibility of this fight going the distance, and you were personally offended by this. It was like someone insulting your mom, for goodness sakes. You had that similar reaction. But let's be honest here. I mean, like it's hard to put the guy away, right? And you've had some hard fights that have gone the distance recently as well. And so why is this such a crazy thought? Why are you so bothered by this notion?
Because none of them should have gone the distance, Ariel. I can you see I've gone red? Like I boil with anger.
Why?
It really gets to me.
Why are you so bothered by this?
Because I want to finish people.
Yeah.
I should have left Michael Venom Page swimming with the fishes in the first round. He should have been unconscious, like a dead fish at a supermarket, unconscious like that. That's what he should have been out. I would have shocked the world. I should have shoved Shavkat Rakhmonov in the 5th round, and then the whole world would have lost its mind. And then I should have sparked Carlos Prates on 3 weeks' notice when no one would expect that. So, but we live and we learn and we get better, and that's what we're doing.
Is this a 3-round or a 5-round fight?
3 rounds.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, again, a 3-round and a 5-round, they both have 3 rounds. I look I look as if my opinion is I would like to think it's not going to get past the 2nd.
Wow.
So either way, I don't see a 3rd round as necessary in my mind.
Okay. And is this one that you've been thinking about him for a while? He was champion. He was right. You've been sort of probably dreaming and thinking, how would I beat Belal? So it's not like he's a guy who's just been like a Michael Morales just kind of arrived. So you're not thinking about this guy for several years. You've been thinking about fighting Belal for a while, I would imagine.
I weighed in to fight him in your hometown.
Yeah.
I weighed in Montreal. And the last time I seen Belal Muhammad, he was stumbling, hobbling, bruised up, beat up, straight after the fight, getting onto the bus. So the last image I have mentally of Belal was a very, very weak, beat up version of that man against someone who didn't capitalize on the opportunities that I saw the same night.
I don't know if there's any symbolism attached to this, but do you know the last time Belal was stopped due to strikes?
Jeff Neal.
Do you know when that fight happened? It wasn't Jeff Neal. It was Vicente Luque.
Vicente Luque. No, but I'm guessing you're going to tell me it's probably November 22nd.
Well, no. It was close to November 22nd. It was UFC 205, Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
Where was Ian Garry when that was happening?
Yeah. Where was I?
That was Conor versus Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Eddie Alvarez, but where was I? I'm pretty sure I was voiceless from screaming all week, just getting excited. And I'm pretty sure I was in my best mate's house because me and him were sick at that point of going out. We just wanted to sit down and watch it and really focus on it. And we got pizza and we watched the fight. But yeah, 205, God, that feels like a lifetime away.
Yeah, that's 9 years ago. So what, you were around 16 years old, right?
16 years of age with a dream. 16 years of age with a dream.
And so I bring that up because it's hard to put this guy away. You know, he's fought a lot of tough guys.
Hey, look. This is fully on me. This isn't to do with anybody else. At the end of the day, I didn't finish Shavkat MVP due to my own mistakes. That's on me. I have to take full responsibility of that, not blame anybody else. If I didn't, I wouldn't be the fighter I am today, and I wouldn't evolve as fast as I can. I beat Carlos Praches on the feet where he's best for the entire fight, and I should have found a hole to put him away, but that didn't happen. That's okay. This fight, I swear to God, Ariel, I'm gonna come on to your show the day after when I get my hand raised, and I absolutely better come on. I better come on with having a knockout, because that's the one thing that I want. I want to finish it. I want to make it violent. I want to put that exclamation mark on it, like I am the best welterweight on the planet right now, and everybody just got to witness that. And as you said, we're gonna have how many? We're gonna have 8 massive welterweights go out there and perform within 7 days of each other. I want everybody to see, come November 22nd, that I'm the best welterweight walking the planet.
You win this fight. Let's just say you win and it's a dominant 30-26. You've got a 10-8 in there, but it went the distance. You're upset on the Monday when we're speaking? You feel like it's a loss?
I won't feel like it's a loss. Wait, look, getting your hand raised by any means necessary is the job. That's my job. But my goal, my heart, what would satisfy my heart is to go out there and punch a hole in his head and leave him unconscious.
Is there animosity there? Is it at all personal between you two?
No. No, I think Belal's a lovely human. I've never had a single bad interaction with him. And I feel like he doesn't get as much love as he should because he's a good human from what I've seen. There's no animosity towards Belal. This is just a job. This is something that I have to go out there and do, and it didn't matter who it was in front of me. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do this.
And so can I ask, how do you think this all plays out? Like, meaning, okay, the week before, it's Islam JDM. Who's winning that fight?
It's such an intriguing fight. There's not a lot of fights at the highest of level where there's so many question marks. When I think about it in my head and I play the scenarios, we've seen JDM been taken down and beaten up on the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
Belal was able to have success in the last 2 rounds, shooting for the takedown and getting it when he decided to do it. Obviously, we've seen him against Gilbert Burns. We've seen him against Basil. Showed weakness in that area. You're going up against one of the single most impressive offensive wrestler, grappler in the sport right now, arguably, in Islam Makhachev. And the fight for me really is, when Islam grabs a hold of Jack, how good has Jack improved? Because Islam is world class at that and has been for probably his entire life because of the way he trains and where he has come from. So can Jack stop that consistently like he did against Belal? Because he did a phenomenal job against Belal at stopping that. But can he do that against someone who's just cleaner, more technical? On the feet, I think Jack wins it cleanly. I think he'll jab, switching stances. He'll have a bit more fluidity due to the fact that Islam's not going to be changing stances so regularly. So I think Jack can do it on the feet, but the question mark is, can he stop the takedown consistently over 5 rounds?
Do you think there's a chance if Islam loses, he goes back to 155? Do you think size will be an issue here and he'll say, you know what, I was the big dog over there and maybe these guys are a little too big?
I think I don't know Islam or what his mentality is, but if you're coming up here and you lose, I don't see why you'd stay. Plus, a lot of fighters, when they lose, they like to cling on to a reason and an excuse. Going back down to 155 might be his excuse, if that makes sense.
Would it be fair to say that you are rooting for him because you want to be the guy to beat him?
Islam?
Yeah.
To be honest, I really don't care.
Okay.
At the end of the day, whoever has that belt is what I want. I don't care who holds it. I know I'm the best in the world, and it's my job to go out there and prove it every time I step into the octagon. I feel like the bigger storyline is me and Islam, due to the history of our countries competing against each other at the highest level.
Yes.
But I also think there's a massive, massive fan interest in me and Jack Della Maddalena going at it. Two young, hungry strikers, both phenomenal at what they do, who can go out there and do what they do best.
Both are brilliant fights, and you're right about the history. By the way, did you happen to catch the Paul Hughes Usman Nurmagomedov fight?
I did.
Who won?
I did, and I haven't messaged or reached out to Paul. I've seen a lot of people talk about this, and I've seen yourself, for example, say you scored at 3-2 to Paul. The biggest indicator to me was straight after both men had finished the fight, Paul and Usman had a hug. And after the hug, did you see what Paul did?
I don't remember.
He turned around after the cuddle. They had a little cuddle. He turned around and went, fuck, screamed. In the fight, you know in that moment. And he knew he didn't do enough. And he believed he lost in that second. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That was the biggest indicator to me that Usman knew he won the fight and Paul knew he lost the fight. I scored it 3-2 to Paul, or to Usman. I think you could absolutely potentially score it 3-2, but you have to think about, one, you are fighting the champion. You are also fighting in an area where they respect different skill sets more to a certain extent. But also, I've seen this firsthand. I watched Belal Muhammad versus JDM live, and I watched it again on the Monday or the Tuesday afterwards. It looked like a completely different fight. So the judges who are scoring the card, whoever scored the card 49-46 or 50-40, whichever, that was absolutely ridiculous. It's completely impossible that was the scoreline, but whatever. I feel like Usman won the fight, but they're razor close. Both fights are razor close, and there's not much in it. So it's an awkward one, but it's also frustrating for Paul, I can imagine.
And then what about your, I think your new best friend, Carlos Praches? Who would have thought this would come about? 6 months ago, you're fighting in Kansas City. You're giving him his first L. And now I see you there consoling him as his teammates are losing in Paris. I saw a great video of your son, who is unbelievably cute. Here's the video of you seeing, I believe it was Mauricio Hufi losing in this moment. It could have been and you're there consoling him, a tough week for the team. Yeah. And then I saw a video of your son proclaiming that Carlos is his favorite fighter. Leo, what happened here? Where did we go wrong?
Yeah. Every day. The video you've seen was one that's not been up yet for the fans, but I thought, this one.
Yes.
My son's favorite fighter is Carlos Prates. And if you ask him who his favorite fighter is, he'll tell you Carlos Prates. And in this clip, I say, imagine beating a man for 23.5 minutes. And after leaving the fight, he turns around and says that his favorite fighter is the other guy. Look, I love Carlos Prates. I think he's a phenomenal fighter. I think he's awesome to watch. And Leo loves it too. And Leo respects elite level fighters. Oh, come on, dude, you got to back your L lad in this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your dad went down and handed him his L, proved to him that he's better than him where Carlos is best. And I pieced him up on the feet for 23.5 minutes. And the only reason he had any success in that fight was my mistake, not his work. Do you know what I mean? So I get that fight one more time because I believe he's going to be right up there in the number one contender when I get the belt. And I will happily fight him again. And I'm going to break my son's heart when I do.
So
that's okay.
Does that mean you think he beats Leon?
I think he's an absolutely starch Leon.
Okay, wow. Like not even close?
No.
You think Leon's done?
I've been saying this for a long time, my friend.
Right. Okay.
I've been saying it for a long time. I think he should be retired. And we might see that.
And you'll never get to fight him then?
I'm shocked he took the fight in the first place. to be honest. He's been shouting and screaming about wanting to fight a striker for so long, and now he's got his opportunity, and I think he's going to get absolutely punched round.
Does it bother you that if he does walk away, you never fight him? Because you wanted that fight for a while now.
Leon?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't bother me. I have no interest ever for him to ever earn any money off me doing all the hard work of being the more interesting fighter and him get any way, shape, or form some financial benefit. I would rather, if he was willing to fight me for all or nothing, I'd fight him in a heartbeat, because I'd make sure he'd leave there absolutely punched round, unconscious, and then leave with no benefit.
Wow.
But I'd have no want to see him nor his team ever.
It's still that personal between you two.
But they lied, and I don't like liars. When people make up lies and things that aren't true, I don't like that, because I know people's true colors then, and I know the truth. So I'm going to be. Look, I'm going to have a Brazil flag on my shoulders come November 15th, cheering Carlos Prates on and watching him sparkly and Edwards unconscious.
I know you're at Novo União right now. You're back in Sao Paulo, right? Preparing for your fight. But just curious, what do you make of all this talk that the Fighting Nerds are a never was team? You fought one of their guys. You kind of started the tough stretch for them, right? Beating Carlos and then the subsequent fight. What do you make of this talk?
I find it funny. Do you know what I mean? Like, I out nerded the nerds. I mean, and I loved it. And I did it on 3 weeks' notice. The best thing about that fight for me is he was the best he's ever been. He'd had the best camp of his life. I was off the couch and absolutely pieced him up. So I take a lot of pride in that. But as I said to you earlier on, I wanted to knock him out, and I still do. And we spoke about it in Paris. We both think we're going to fight again, and that's okay. But I know he can't sleep at night without thinking I'm better than him, because I beat him where he's best, and he has no excuses to tell himself. I beat him where he's best. It wasn't like I went out there and shot for his ankles and held him down the whole time. I used intelligent MMA, and I pieced him up on the feet. And yeah, he doesn't like that. So that's amazing for me.
So when you're with him at these events,
I think the fighting nerds.
Yeah.
Look, no gym is ever like this, right? No gym is always win. That's it, right?
Yep.
It's never a thing. But what it shows is that the highest level, they haven't been able to pull the trigger. The last 4 fights they've had, for example, have been the 4 biggest fights. Me and Patches, Imavov and Bahalio, Hofi versus Benoit Saint-Denis, and João Silva versus Diego Lopes. 2 of them got finished, and 2 of them got dominated. So they need to change and adapt, and it all depends on how they come back from that. Because when you look at Carlos Prates, between the fight where he lost to me and then the Jeff Neal fight, he looked completely different, and he looked amazing. So it all depends on how they all come back from this loss, because losses can make or break you.
When you're with him, is there like that sort of rivalry there? Do you feel it? Do you know, you're not teammates, but you seem kind of cool. Like, what's that vibe like when you're sitting next to him?
I think it's respect. I think he can't not sit there and respect me after what I did to him. And I respect him for everything that he is and has done in the sport. You know, I would spark my nanny if I needed to in a fight in the UFC. I don't care who it is. That's not it. My job is to go in there, whoever the UFC put across the octagon, is to go out there and do the absolute most damage I possibly can and leave there with all the praise on my name. I've told you this. Every single fight card that I'm on, I want everybody to be talking about me.
And then the last one I wanted to ask you about, Brady versus Morales. That was just announced. What do you think happens?
It's an interesting one. You've got someone like Mike Morales who's beating up old dudes that should all be close to retirement, and he thinks he's amazing because of it. And then you've got another guy who is slowly in the shadows improving, and I believe far more dangerous than Mike Morales. I I think I don't necessarily mind who wins or who comes out on top. But I think Sean Brady has the ability and the skill set to go out there and out wrestle and out grapple Morales. But Morales has shown that he's just got sloppy but strong punches. So can he land that shot that puts him out? Kind of like the Belal fight for Sean, where Belal just caught one and that was kind of the beginning of the end. Or can Morales get absolutely ragdolled? Do you know what I mean? Can Sean Brady go out there and ragdoll him like he did to Leon Edwards? Let's find out. That's why the fight's interesting.
Are you leaning in a direction?
Am I leaning in the direction of who wins that fight? I mean, I think it's Sean Brady's fight to lose.
Okay.
I think Sean should be going out there putting insane pressure on this dude, not giving him an inch of respect, an inch of space, getting on his legs, putting him on the deck, elbowing his face in. When he turns to give his back or turns to scramble, lock him down, pin him down, and punch his head in and try to find a submission. Because that's where Sean shines his brightest. You're not going to try. I don't think it's a smart idea to try to stay on the feet with this guy if you're Sean, because he hasn't got the abilities that I might have to be able to manage and maneuver in that space on the outside and take advantage of that striking element. So I think it's Sean's fight to lose.
By the way, I saw a video of you rock climbing. Like, is it like freehand? What is this? What this is? What is this? This is absurd strength right here. This is nuts.
Yeah, it's something I've been working on. I feel like it's going to absolutely massively benefit my fighting, and I'm seeing the benefits of my body. I look bigger and as strong as I've ever been, and I often look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, when did I get this muscular? When did I get this big? And I'm just, it's just coming, Ariel. Do you know what I mean? I look at myself and I'm a bit frightened sometimes. My God, I wouldn't want to step across the octagon from this man.
Is it going to be hard to make 170 with this newfound muscle?
No. The truth is I'm lighter than I was when I accepted the Patches fight. Like it's muscular and lean and clean and functional.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
And by the way, what's the vibe over there with Charles getting the big win back in Brazil? I saw he put on a whole party, a whole carnival for everyone. Were you at this thing with your kid?
He said it afterwards. He said he was going to go to the favela when he got the bonus. He was going to throw a party because it was at Dia de Criança, so Day of the Kids in Brazil the other day, which is awesome. What an amazing thing to do.
Amazing.
I mean, so many people would never do that. I mean, he's like, you know what? Like, I don't care. I'm going to throw a party for everyone to come and enjoy and celebrate because it's a day for the kids and it's a day where families want to be together. What an amazing man and an amazing human. Dude, everyone is just so happy. I was present in Vegas when Charles lost against Taporia, and we were all heartbroken. We were all heartbroken because he is the leader of Shoot the Box. He is the champion of their tribe. Do you know what I mean? He's the alpha of the tribe, and that fight doesn't leave a good taste in anybody's mouth. For even Taporia, he said like he didn't want to do that. To see Charles come back after such a short time in between those fights, and a lot of people were saying stuff in the backgrounds of, is it too close? Yada yada yada. It was so lovely to see him go out there, look clean, calm, composed and efficient, and he went out there and he did what he needed to do. You know what I mean? How many people after getting probably like the most aggressive loss of their career, or getting knocked out in a world title fight, would want to come back and have a short notice change of opponent? Because Gamrot's dangerous, and it's a completely different style from Fiziev. So how many people would be willing to do that? Charles Oliveira was, and I think he deserves a lot more respect for what he did. And he went there and he made one of the best guys in the division look like an amateur.
Impressive. Super. I was one of those people, by the way. I was one of those people who said, it's a little too soon. Is he coming back in October, 3.5 months later, just because this card is in Brazil? And maybe that's not the best reason. And he made me look very foolish for even bringing that up.
This is also, sorry to cut you off.
No.
I apologize. This is also where, and I love you so much, and I've told you are the single best at this in the world. There's never any problems with you fact checking ever. You are unbelievable what you do, and I love that about you.
Thank you.
But also, everybody else in the world has an opinion of what Charles should do or what every fighter should do.
Sure.
The truth is, if the fighter wants to fight, let the fighter fight, whether it's the right thing to do or not. Because in his mind, I can imagine that he's like, I want to get back in there and I want to win, get back in the win column, show everybody that I'm still here and that I'm one of the best in the world. And he went out there and proved himself right more than anything. Does that make sense? So I'm very proud of him.
100%. And by the way, I hope fighters know that, you know that, he knows that when we talk about that, that's not because we're trying to stop them from realizing their dreams or earning money for it's just, this is the stuff you have to talk about. This is what happens.
It's an opinion. It's an opinion that is absolutely, completely logical to have and understandable to have. But for someone like a fighter,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Built different.
It's completely different. And his mentality is, I'm one of the best in the world. I want to get back in there, get a win, and show everyone that I'm still here and that I'm as dangerous as ever. So, yeah, it's awesome to see. And I rang all the guys and spoke to them and told them I'm so happy, I'm so proud. It's amazing to see him get that win. And yeah, I'm back in Brazil, getting ready for this fight. I got my training in this morning with Damian Maia. I was in Shoot the Box yesterday doing some sparring, and everybody's happy. Everyone's good.
Wow. Okay, 2 last quick ones if I can.
Go ahead.
Back at SBG for a seminar?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I say back at SBG. Yes. I mean, I should say back in Dublin. You were never officially an SBG guy, but I feel like you're a friend of the team, right?
Yes. Look, we reached out to John Cavan and said, let's make something happen. I'm back in Ireland and I want to do something. I want to go back with a bang and bring some knowledge back to my hometown, my home country. And what an amazing way to do it, to go back to the first ever MMA gym in Dublin, Ireland, and to go out there and pass on the knowledge I've gained from traveling the world and give it to the youngsters who are all present. It's going to be amazing. Fastest selling seminar in SBG HQ history.
Wow. Is this your first time doing one at this point in your career? Like since you became this big?
Properly, yes. This is the first proper one we're doing, and I'm excited to do it because, as I've said, look, I'm one of the greatest fighters walking this planet right now. I'm one of the most intelligent fighters walking the planet right now. And I've also had an amazing time traveling and learning from such amazing professors, athletes. I have so much that I can pass on to the younger generation of mixed martial artists in Ireland, and I'm very excited. And I'm very excited for John Kavanagh to give me that opportunity to come back and to do this and to put on a great day where people can learn and ask questions and just, I kind of want to relight the fire a little bit because I've been doing my best to get the UFC back to Dublin, Ireland. There's a lot of logistical issues with that, with the size of the production and stuff like that. But I'm going to get it back one day, and I'm going to keep pushing that.
And by the way, here you are giving me props. I say Novu Niao. Of course, I meant Chudabox. My apologies.
Don't worry,
that was I was thinking Aldo. I was thinking he was just retired. But
don't worry about it. I'm never going to pull you up on it.
I would.
Like that. I'm not going to.
That stuff pisses me off.
Do you dirty on air?
I want you to do me dirty. I want you to correct me if I make that mistake. All right? Because I know this stuff matters, and I can't believe I made that mistake. I'm actually super mad at myself. Anyways, my apologies. Chudabox, of course. Last thing. All goes well November 22nd. You're back, let's say spring, May, June, July. Who are you fighting for the belt? What are you envisioning?
Spring, June, July. Listen, if I go out there and I spark Belal Muhammad in the first round, I'm the champion. I've already had a week off. I'm going to be shouting in that octagon to fight the pay-per-view in December. Don't you worry about that.
Oh no, that's not happening. You're crazy, man.
But look, listen. If the champion is present at cage side, and I get that, I'm ready. But then let's do it next week. Let's do it in 2 weeks' time. Let's see if you're ready. Do you know what I mean? Back it up. Because you know I will. You know I'll back it up and I'll fight 2 weeks after. I was ready to fight in Montreal.
Yes, you were.
Practice 10 days later, 2 weeks later. I was present. I was ready to go. So I can do it. But can they?
We'll find out.
So I would love to do that. But look, regardless of whether that happens or not, that's my little dream world, my fantasy land. I'm going to finish Belal Muhammad. That's my goal. That is my single one focus of this fight, is I want to go out there and leave it unquestionable that I'm the single greatest welterweight walk on the planet, because they're going to be able to compare us over the last 7 days, right? From November 22nd to November 15th. They're going to be able to compare us all. I want everyone to say that I look the best. And whoever wins that belt, Jack or Islam, I don't mind. I really don't have any preference. I'm going to fight both of them eventually, I believe, because I believe both of them are going to be up and around the top of the division for a long time. I am going to fight them wherever, whenever, and I will punch a hole in their head because there is nobody in this planet stopping me from getting that belt wrapped around my waist. We are this close, Ariel, to succeeding in that takeover part 2. I told the entire UFC fan base on the mic, I'm the future. I am inevitable. And I'm this close to prove it.
Oh, man. What a promo. Love that. Love how far you've come with your confidence with these interviews. It's a joy to watch and partake in. Thank you so much, Ian. Really appreciate it. Good luck to you. Enjoy the homecoming on October 30th. If you're in the area. Is it sold out, by the way? Did you happen to say?
It's sold out. It's sold out. Don't worry, I'll have to go back and do more.
Okay.
There's no way. Look, let's get this one out of the way.
Yeah.
And then after I spark Belal, maybe we go back and we'll pass it on all over. We'll do a little bit
Victory,
more.
yeah. Victory.
I'd love to do that to Ireland because I love my hometown. I love Dublin, but I'm on a journey to be the best in the world and I'm focusing entirely on myself. Every time I go home, I would love to bring back some knowledge for the youngsters in MMA.
Much love. All the best to you, Ian. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Hello to the family as well, and good luck on November 22nd.
Appreciate it. All the best. As I said, every time, you're the best at this. I love you.
Thank you, Ian. Appreciate it very much. There he is. The future and soon to perhaps be the present as well as far as the welterweight title picture is concerned. Tremendous stuff. Tremendous promo. Gave me chills there at the end when he looked right into the barrel of that camera. I still can't believe I said Novu Niao. He's saying I'm the best. I'm saying Novu Niao? What the hell? Shoot a box. Actually, Diego Lima posted a great video of the celebrations after the Charles Oliveira win this past Saturday in Rio. All kinds of parties, all kinds of celebrations, all kinds of jubilation, all kinds of excitement, all kinds of happiness. I was trying to go for as many adjectives as I possibly could. Yeah, there it is. Look at this. Look at this scene. Still receiving videos that will surely become history. How good is it to be able to fight and celebrate with those we love? Brazil is too much. The main event was made for you. Beautiful stuff. And that party that he threw the next day, beautiful as well. Mateusz Gamrot, by the way, has broken his silence, as they say in the business. He went on Instagram and said it was a huge honor to share the octagon with you, Charles do Bronx. Thank you, Brazil, for the whole week and the special atmosphere. It was an exceptional time, and I'm definitely coming back from it as a different person. I'll be back here again to learn more. We often see this. Someone takes a short notice fight, gets the main event rub, so to speak, and then becomes better. I have no doubt that he can do just that. All right, let's answer a few more. We didn't get to as many as I would have liked. Let's rifle off a few more before we call it a day. Tomorrow's going to be another great day on the program. It has already been a great day on the program. This is from Adrian. Good day, gents. GC making waves, going on Submission Radio. He's him. When did you go on?
Sunday, the day after.
Did you show up wearing like a New Zealand jersey or something like that? Just to...
No, a VB long neck shirt. Victoria Bitters.
Oh, so on that one, you were leaning in. You were going for the hometown pop.
Yeah, I was supporting, man.
Here you're a heel. Anyway, he says, my gosh.
I'm supportive.
The terrible take that Max easily beats Charles. What did do Bronx do to DP? Max needed 5 rounds and only had him in trouble once. Max couldn't finish Justin. What did do Bronx do? And this is Justin, who apparently somehow is demanding a title fight. Please, GC, man, please. What do you have to say for yourself?
I mean, I feel like that's a little bit of an over-exaggeration. I was asked to give a prediction for the fight. I said I thought Max would outstrike him and win a decision.
Them's the breaks. There has to be a winner.
I gotta make a prediction. There's your prediction right there. I think that he can thwart the takedowns, and then when it's standing, I think he'll have the edge there. Especially when the fight's made, you know?
Yeah. Lukey Dubs. Shout out from South Australia. Speaking of Australia. Longtime listener, first-time questioner. What's the most important quality or thing about your team members and coworkers for you? I ask because you've mentioned arguments in the past with Peasy and others. Ultimately, what brings you back to them? Their integrity, their loyalty, their unbiased opinions. Would love to know your opinion on each member's greatest attribute. Gosh, you want me to go down the line here? Well,
this is a great question.
This is.
What
What is this? A performance review?
This is fantastic. Thank you for
live on the air. Keep the paper trail.
Thanks, Lukey from little old Adelaide. You guys brighten my day every day with your content. Shout out to the Adelaide Crows. I'm not going to go down the line. I mean, here's the overarching thing that I admire and respect and look for and am drawn to: being hardworking, being reliable, being motivated, coming into work, being excited, wanting to make the best content possible, the best show possible, the best whatever it is possible, the best production possible, being dedicated, being responsive, being loyal.
Who do these apply to? Just hand them out. Start
it sounds
saying
like
names.
everybody.
You know,
what do
everyone.
you have to say about PT though?
I love PT's passion. I love his enthusiasm.
Oh, so now we are doing individuals. All right.
Well, no, you're asking.
Keep
specific.
going.
I love his loyalty.
Who's next?
You know, no, I'm not doing that. But
just Pete.
I feel well. He
so
asked
we know
me
Pete's
specifically.
number one. Then
No, he
Got
asked
it.
me
Got it.
specifically. He asked me specifically. You know, I'll say this. Who is it? I was in Montreal. Oh, I think I was talking to my dad. My dad was asking me about like what we're doing and everything like that. And my dad had a very, very successful career. He worked in the textile business in Montreal. And I used to actually go to my dad's work a few times. One time I went for a summer, but I only lasted 2 weeks. I don't know if I probably told the story over the years. And he put me with the shipping guys in the factory. And I don't think that they were very happy about me being there because they kind of had to hold my hand, show me the ropes, and kind of pretend like I was doing something. And I remember one time we were eating lunch and I was kind of leaning back on my chair. And one of the guys, like the head guy, said, "I hope you fall off your chair and break your head." And I always thought that was a little bit harsh. But I never really liked going to my dad's office because it was cool to see what he was doing. But then I was like, oh, I don't really want to do this. I wonder if my kids feel the same way when they come to my work. Anyway, all to say, my dad was asking me, that was a bit of a tangent, asked me,
if you don't want to answer,
your
you just
team?
say
No,
so.
no,
It's all right.
I'll tell you, for God's sakes. He said, how's your team? Do you trust them? Can you rely on them? And my dad had a guy on his team named Aby, who was kind of like his right-hand man. And I always loved their relationship because they're completely different human beings, completely different personalities, completely different everything. But I saw that there was respect and it worked well. And what I said to him was, I have an Aby, and that's New York Rick. So while New York Rick's actually mocking me here, the loyalty. I mean, we all remember the email.
Don't read it. It's getting to that time of year. We don't need to read it.
It actually is getting the loyalty, the hard work. I mean, Rick wears a lot of hats here. He's knocked it out of the park. There were even some people when they said, "Oh, you're launching Uncrowned. Who's like the EP? Can't you know?" And I was like, "Oh, Rick's gonna
Crown.
Rick's the EP." And they're like, "Rick? He does PR. He does social media." I was like, "No. He's the guy. He's built for this. He's born for this." There were some doubters. And I'm talking about, Rick, by the way, I'm talking about within the team here. Everyone thought it was a very weird.
I said that to you with confidence.
By the way, they tell me every day, so it doesn't. It's okay.
So you didn't tell your dad, yeah, I trust them all. We have this guy named Mysterious Frank.
No, and then he's like, who does the drops on the show?
Oh, God.
I like that guy. But no, I feel very lucky. I mean, you dream of these things. And I talk about the ESPN era where I didn't feel, especially in the early days, like I had that. And over time we kind of found but nothing like this. And so this is the dream. Quite literally, the dream is to be surrounded by people you like and respect and admire and enjoy being around, enjoy working, enjoy coming to work every day. I'm excited to wake up and come to work. I'm excited to wake up and do work. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's the dream. And then hopefully that excitement and enthusiasm leads to good work and you all kind of swim together and you all prosper and you all thrive and you all get to live out your respective dreams as a result of that great work.
I was giving you a hard time, but it's well said. And it's been a great year. And we owe a lot to you to founding this thing and getting it kicked off. And I'm very happy with where we're at. And I'm going to be even happier in a year from now when we're at another place. So
yeah.
I'm very happy.
Wait, we're leaving?
like
Maybe it's
a
like another
further
place.
down
Oh, okay.
the
Whoa,
road,
whoa,
like
whoa, yeah,
another.
Yes.
Another
You weren't wrong to
milestone,
assume that he
another year.
did say another place.
Yeah, he did
Yeah,
say.
sorry.
He said another place.
That was worded oddly.
He does this as executive producer. He puts little nuggets in. You gotta follow.
Yeah.
him.
It's a break.
It's
No,
a moving
it's
day?
not.
No,
Yes.
of course.
I'm excited to see where we'll be in a year from now.
Shake Turkey asks, Happy Wednesday, Ariel and crew. It's not Wednesday, it's Tuesday, but old habits. I think I figured out the Ronda Rousey comeback and would love to hear your thoughts. Ronda Rousey versus Holly Holm, Real American Freestyle Wrestling. Don't think that's the one. Patrick McCrate says, Ariel, what are your thoughts on the Vision turning on Seth Rollins? I think it's too soon. They just formed. Like, they just came out with the name. Let's see. They had Raw yesterday in Perth. I'd be lying if I said I think it was happening while we were on the air, or maybe it happened earlier. But I was surprised to see that. But, you know, I like when factions are around for 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Okay, maybe 7's too long, but at least like 2, 3 years. This is like 3 months. So I was surprised. Ryan says, hey, Ariel, love the show and the crew. I haven't had any luck getting through a voicemail to BITB, so I'll go to the big boss instead.
It's tough.
It's tough. Wow. Apparently, Frank Channing Tatum said it's tough as well, someone told me.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have said it's tough while on the show, but only a few make the cut.
Okay. In honor of the great James Tahuna, what are your thoughts on the top 5 Oceania MMA fighters? For me, in order, it's Volk, Hunt, Whitaker, Izzy, and JDM. It's a pretty damn good list. Not sure you can have Hunt over Whitaker and Izzy and JDM. I mean, he never won a UFC title, but fair. He did have an incredible kickboxing career. That's fair. Oh, man. But if JDM beats Islam, he might climb up that list pretty high. Yeah, and he's still in the midst of his career. What are your thoughts? Oh, fucking oath cunts. I forgot about that. Love the show. Thanks for all the content. My kids aren't still in there, are they?
They absolutely
just came
perked
back,
up.
so
Damn it.
Yeah, all 3 of them.
That's a thing. That's like it's a term of endearment, guys.
They can't.
Writing something on the rubric. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, they can no longer hear you also now that both of our mics are on.
Perfect.
They did
perfect.
catch that.
I didn't mean to say that, guys. I didn't mean to say that.
No, you spell it F.
Yes. Volk, Hunt, Whitaker, Izzy, JDM. The question is, are we missing anyone? George Soteropoulos? Carlos Ulberg could be added to that list very soon. But that's a pretty damn good list. What is this? GC's Performance is the guy's name. I sure hope you're doing well. You often use the analogy of it. If you wanted to get your refrigerator fixed, you wouldn't tell the contractor what to wear. But you could say if any contractor wants this job, they need to wear a Bills jersey. And depending on the job market, you may get a taker. But if they have the right to not take the contract, just like UFC fighters, they sign a contract, and if they want to get paid, they need to do the drug testing, the uniforms, media obligations as per the contract they agreed to. Absolutely. I'm not calling for a mutiny. I'm not calling for a strike. Of course they have to adhere to the rules. They're the top dogs. You want to make a living doing this? You have to go to them. You want to be the biggest star you can be? Just ask Michael Chandler. He was here with Bellator. He's here with the UFC. My whole point is, I just wish they had a say. And if they look, the Knicks have to wear a jersey. The Rockets have to wear a jersey. The Bills have to wear jerseys. The Falcons have to wear jerseys. The 49ers have to wear jerseys. But there's a process. There's a collective bargaining. That's my point.
They're also employees. Those players are employees.
Do they get W-2s or 1099s?
The players?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those are employees.
Oh yeah.
That's a completely different thing.
Yeah. Sure, they are independent contractors, he continues, but once they sign a contract, they are under contract. Yeah, I'm aware. I'm just saying the whole structure is a little flawed.
This is a very semantical question here. Like they're trying to push something here, but the reality is what you're advocating for is, one, if you're going to be classified as a contractor, you should have the ability to take jobs with anybody you want. That is not how this ultimately goes. And two, you should be able to make decisions on how things are performed there. This person is correct that, look, if you sign a contract, you're agreeing to the terms of the contract. That's certainly correct. But this is a larger conversation. It is not per contract basis, right? Like the UFC contract is with those individual athletes. But what is the larger discussion around what the UFC's policies should be around how they handle contractors and things like that? This is like a microscopic look at something that's a much larger conversation.
Semantics.
Semantics.
Yeah. Keen, thoughts on Bisping's commentary over the weekend? Can't be told he's wrong. Constantly arguing with the other commentators. Great job by John Gooden to stay so calm. By far the worst on the desk. I'm going to plead the fifth on this one. Anyone have any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean the confrontation was a bit odd.
Yeah.
It's fine.
3-man booth better sometimes, and a little more balance. Sometimes I just think the broadcast, this is not about him in particular, but the broadcast just need to breathe a little bit. Doesn't have to be talking all the time, right?
It's tough for those guys. I mean, they have to go, 7-8 hours?
Yeah, no, it's true. That's why. Let it breathe. Just chill out.
Everyone stop chatting shit.
Yo, my kids are back there, bro.
Yeah, it's muted. It's fine.
Julian asks, and this is actually the best question of the day. Julian, episode 42 of the MMA Beat. What the F is New York Rick wearing?
I don't know. Somebody bring it up. Oh, let me see. Bring it up. Bring it bigger.
Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up.
Oh boy.
What do you mean?
No,
a nice little quarter zip with a shirt under.
What's that color though?
Okay,
take it down, please. My eyes.
The diamond, the gelled hair.
Wait a second.
The hair was.
Before we get too crazy here, this is from an episode which aired on May 16th, 2014.
Yeah.
Why is Julian watching an almost 12-year-old episode of the MMA Beat? A.
Some say I bring the numbers. You know, he's going back to see the hits.
And B, I think it's actually a great look.
What's wrong with the look?
It's just not how I know you.
Okay, but
the hair is phenomenal. Can we go back to
How
that?
old were you here? Like 26?
Were you selling Cutco?
What? Sorry,
Like-
what year did you say it was, Ariel?
2014.
No, I was, maybe like 26, 27, around.
I think it's a great look. And now that
I don't know. Is it that bad?
I think it's a great
bad.
It's a very professional look.
I think that needs to be the clarification there, is that it's not bad. It just is so
You're
the
just disappointed.
antithesis of you.
Yeah.
It's like a preppy Northeastern kid.
I had to class it up for the beat. You know, you can't just walk on.
Compared to your look now, where you show up with the black shirt,
The diamond is shining too. That thing is.
You still have the
bright.
diamond.
Look at this diamond.
I swear to God, we've had this conversation
I know.
18 times on this show. Ears are still pierced.
I feel like
Rick, you still got the ear piercing.
I feel like it was a lot more evident back then.
I feel like he wears the headphones so much now.
Yeah.
No, I think in the back you would always wear the headphones. No,
I used to wear one off, one on. There was all kinds of things. I don't know. I don't think it was that bad. Honestly, for this person who's asking,
It's not bad. Please don't think that. It's actually too good.
it's fascinating to look because if you go back 12 years, Rick looks dramatically different. Chuck looks the exact same.
Timeless style.
I mean, it's the exact same.
Timeless style, man. He's got the turtle shell up top. It's great.
Yeah. How do I look? Same?
yeah. Do we have a beat picture?
He actually went on
Nah, they just want to shit on me and Chuck.
All right, fine.
No
fine.
one is shitting on you.
Chuck
For
looks
the
ageless.
record, no one is shitting on Chuck.
No one is. Actually, we're saying he's.
Chuck looks great, man.
All right.
I mean,
This is from Matt Chiwiwis. Hello, Ariel and crew. Happy Be Bald and Be Free Day. Can we give some praise to the troll job done by Mario Pinto this weekend? He's a London lad and fooled Michael Bisping in the UFC into thinking he couldn't speak English. Plus, he's undefeated. Hope he gets a big push. Seems quite marketable. Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. It's tremendous.
Future of the heavyweight division.
Loved it. A little
Tom
personality.
Espinal's already quaking. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want that smoke.
Josh P. Hey, Ariel, Cejudo versus Talbot is strange matchmaking in my eyes. Is this the old guard versus the new? Does Cejudo retire if he can't stave off the fresh up-and-comer? Perhaps. And yes, to the first question, it is. Also, how big can a win for Talbot be? Here's the thing. You beat Cejudo, you can't go back. And so the question remains, can he beat those guys who are above Cejudo? Now, I will admit, I didn't realize Cejudo was down to 10. I thought he was like 6.
3 straight losses.
So there are a couple guys there. Like he could fight, some of those dudes who are probably favorable matchups for him there. But I would imagine that the thinking is swing for the fences. You lose. Hey, you lost to Henry Cejudo. You win, and now you're swimming with the sharks.
I think it's also important to note not everybody wants to fight Peyton Talbot, right? Like, not everybody wants to give these guys opportunities. There's not a lot of upside on beating a Peyton Talbot, because if you beat him and you're Henry Cejudo, everybody goes, Peyton Talbot was never anything, so it doesn't really matter. So I give credit to Henry. I give credit to Peyton. It doesn't always work out where it's like, oh, he gets the natural progression. He's taking a shot. Henry's taking a shot. I like it. I don't have a problem with it.
Mysterious Cam, Ola Ariel, in an alternate universe where none of you worked in MMA or media, what regular jobs do you think the crew would have? My guess is you'd be a weatherman, making every incoming rainstorm sound like UFC 300. GC would be a financial advisor who tells everyone to tail his stock picks. Frank would be a moody jazz and metal DJ who silently judges everyone's dancing. New York Rick would be 100% a school soccer coach who gives himself post-game interviews. PT would sell fatty boom baddies out of his backyard caravan. There's nothing more I love to do than enjoy a meal watching you guys. Thank you so much for everything you can give us. I was about to crap on all these suggestions, but that was a nice closing thought, so I won't.
Yeah, he's a little off the mark.
Clay says, hey, Ariel, several of your guests who do lots of speaking mention a vocal coach that has helped them with longevity. Have you ever used or considered a vocal coach? When I first started at Fox, they told me to go one. I think I did one lesson, and I think the guy thought that I was hopeless and didn't show any interest in working with me again. I think they wanted me to have more of a voice.
It's tough.
And I would come to them and I would say, like, look, if you want the voice, I could give you the voice. I used to be on Syracuse radio back in the early aughts. 2001, 2002. The Beta Syracuse Z89. Ariel Helwani here on a cold and brisk Wednesday afternoon in Syracuse, New York. It is raining outside in central New York, but it's going to be cloudy later. I could do that voice if you want.
Did they mention that at all in school? Like where that voice came from? Like why they want people to do it?
The Beta Syracuse Z89. No, they didn't.
So yeah, it's all style, right?
It's all style,
Weird.
yeah.
Weird.
I mean, Hornswoggle said it yesterday that I have a buttery smooth voice.
That you do.
I used to also imitate Mauro Ranallo the first time that I was on Fight Network Radio in 2007 with Mauro and John Pollock. He used to say, Ariel Helwani, one of the brightest minds in the business. And I used to like walk around my house. He used to call me the Titan of Twitter. Anyway. Swing and a miss. Any more? Yes. El Peruano asks, well, first he says, shout out to El Cubano, and he says, have you listened to BITB's recent pound for pound? I noticed that there were a lot of people who didn't like the Burrow pound for pound. They thought it was too regional, guys.
Yeah, we got crushed for that one.
Is this in the question?
Yeah.
Or you're saying?
No, well, I saw the question and then I editorialized.
I think the top comment on the video is something like, worst pound for pound to date, fellas.
I really liked it.
Listen,
Yeah,
we'll take the constructive criticism and move forward.
I think everyone who criticized it is from Queens.
Yeah, 100%.
No. Well, yeah, probably, because you guys shit the bed on that. But
Super chats, Frankie?
Let's do it.
Oh.
It's been done.
Speaking of shit.
Did my sister do? Oh, no, my sister. My daughter do that? My sister just texted me. What do we got?
Well, the first super chat we have, we've already done. The next one says, happy birthday to Uncrowned. This is from Rick G.
Yeah, Rick G's the man. He's the one that made the rap song.
That's right.
Yep. That's not how it goes, but it was a good song. What else?
Next, where the heck is Mike Lindsberg?
That's Landsberg, legend. That's the guy who hosted the show Off the Record on TSN. He's still around. I see him on Twitter. He's a big mental health advocate. I don't think he's in broadcasting anymore. I think his son works in broadcasting, but an absolute legend. And that show, so Sports Desk, it was TSN Sports Desk. It's now called Sports Center, but back in the day it was Sports Desk. I'm pretty sure Off the Record would be on at 5 and Sports Desk was on at 5:30. And I always like that because then you can catch ESPN Sports Center if you had a way to do that. Anyway, he would have these like shoot interviews with Taker and with Vince and with Stone Cold and with Bret Hart and The Rock. It was amazing stuff. So yes, he was great. Actually, I think Aaron Bronstetter did some work with him back in the day, but I could be wrong about that. I think he was his producer or something like that. Anyway, Canadian legend, and you can still see a lot of those if you type in the WWE guys and off the record. The interviews were great. Hard-hitting questions, too. Even did one with CM Punk. CM Punk got mad at him. Did one with Chael. Did some with Dana towards the end of his career. Did some UFC stuff as well. I was on once, I think. What else, Frankie? What else?
With Seattle up 2-0 in the ALCS, who are your top MMA fighters in the Pacific Northwest ranked? Go MS.
Or M's, the Mariners. MS is, no one's cheering for that.
Just Frank.
No one cares about that region or your team or the fighters coming out of that region. Sorry. What else?
Recommended listening lately is Ari Emanuel and Mark Shapiro as
Oh, yeah.
guest on the Town podcast with Matt Bologna on the
Bellany.
Ari perfectly embolizes Hollywood fakeness and insecurity. Just diabolical.
Okay, I don't know about that line, but I did watch it and listen to it. It's a pod. It's actually a really good pod. It's sort of like a media business, sometimes sports media, but just media business, I would say. I think Rick's listened to it. Haven't you listened to it a few times?
Yeah, it's a decent pod.
Yeah. Those interviews, there are a couple things in there. It's great to listen. It's great to get some insight. Sometimes it just feels like a conference call. But it's worth checking out if you're on a long drive or a walk or a run or something like that. I enjoy the pod. I just love listening to that type of stuff, especially now with all the streaming and the OTT and the DTC and everything going on in media is a very, very, very interesting topic to me. So check it out. What else?
Look into Barry Hearn. Be a real journalist.
Yeah. I love when people say be a real journalist. Like, just because we're not specifically looking into one story that you have interest in. I actually read Barry Hearn's book that came out, and it came out like 6-7 years ago. No promoter is perfect, and I wouldn't claim to be someone who's looked into Barry Hearn as this man is suggesting. But I also don't think that not looking into Barry Hearn doesn't make me a real journalist. We have different jobs, different beats, different things that we're looking at, talking about. It's just the way it goes. But why don't you tell us? Why don't you give us a super chat of approximately 20 to 25 pounds and let us know why we should look into him. What else, Frankie? What else?
And lastly, Frank's hairy uncle. This being his absolute aspect skits on commentary.
Wow. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Definitely bad.
Okay. Well, that's your opinion.
We also got to confirm that aura farming is a bad thing.
Oh.
Trying hard. You're trying too hard.
Trying too hard. A try hard.
Yeah.
Who confirmed this?
Your children.
Oh, all of them.
No, just one.
Collectively.
Walter spoke
Big
on
Walt?
behalf of everybody.
Can we get an overhead shot of
We
the
gave
kids?
him a nickname, by the way. His name is now Walter Waite.
Where are they? What are they? Tucked up. Guys, come in. Don't be shy. They're still there? Yeah.
We had them crammed in a corner.
What's up, guys? Where's Ollie? You had him. They're a little
The
confused.
problem is they can't hear you. because
Move closer to Jordan, Walter. Yeah, there he is. Yeah. They asked me a really good question yesterday. They're like, do we have to stay for the whole thing? And what happens if we get bored? And I was like, yep.
I can assure you're going to get bored.
Yeah, and you had to stay for the whole thing. Claire, did you get bored?
She can't hear you as long as Connor's mic is on.
Oh.
Claire, did you get bored? Here, come talk into this mic.
A little, I guess.
What did you learn today? What's the big takeaway from the day?
Wait, I don't know what he's saying.
Oh.
What's the big takeaway from the day?
What did you learn from today?
I don't know really.
Who was your favorite guest?
I like I don't know what his name was. The last one.
Ian Machado Garry, the Irish guy.
Yeah.
What did you like about him?
I don't know. I just liked it.
His energy.
Yeah.
His vibe.
Yeah.
His confidence.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you happen to catch the Paulie Malignaggi interview at the top, the Italian guy?
Which one? Was it the first, second?
Yeah, with the beard, the first one.
I think a little.
Okay, you didn't see him like getting mad at me and stuff.
I saw in the a little. He was kind of like yelling at you.
Yeah, he was very intense, huh?
Yeah.
Bit rude?
Yeah.
All right. Well, did you have fun?
Yeah.
Okay. Is your mom there?
No.
She hasn't shown up.
No.
She's the one that got bored.
Yeah, she's the one bored.
All right. Well, thank you. Does anyone else want to say anything before we go?
Oh, they left.
Oh, they all left. They actually left the room?
No, they're in here.
Okay. Wow. Frank.
They're cleaning up as I asked them. No, I said in the basket.
Yeah. That's great stuff. Appreciate it. Claire getting all the... By the way, we used to do a show during the pandemic, the Claire and Ariel show. And then it became the Clariel show. Is she still there?
Yep.
Oh, she's breathing into the microphone.
That's what happens.
Okay, Claire, this is your big chance to get back into it. This weekend, we have RDR, Renee DeRitter against Brendan Allen.
Renee DeRitter.
Okay, that's the pick. I think a lot of people are going with them. And then what about a guy who a lot of people say I look like, Ayman Zahabi against friend of the program. Well, they're both friends of the program. Marlon Cheeto Vera.
Marlon Cheeto Vera.
Okay, that's an interesting one. What about next week? This is a tough one. Cyril Gane versus Tommy Aspinall.
Tommy Aspinall.
Yeah.
Why do you think?
I just heard of the name, so I think he's good.
You heard us speaking about him and singing his song?
Yeah.
Tommy Aspinall.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Tommy Aspinall. Tommy Aspinall. Da, 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 da. Okay, one last one. Islam Makhachev against Jack Della Maddalena.
Jack Della Maddalena.
Wow. That's what about Zhang Wei Li versus Valentina Shevchenko?
Valentina Shevchenko.
Okay, and then one last one. Michael Morales versus Sean Brady.
Sean Brady.
Okay, wow. I think you're okay, one more. Ian Machado Garry against Belal Muhammad.
Belal Muhammad.
What? You just said you liked Ian Machado Garry.
Wow.
He's the guy. He's the guy that you said you liked.
No, I switched.
Oh, you switched already?
I switched.
All right. Okay, one last one. Armin Sarukian or Dan Hooker?
Dan Hooker.
All right. Wow, that would be big. That would be big news. That would be big news. All right, I'll be there in a moment, all right?
We do have two more super
More
chats.
super chats. Are they for Claire?
No.
Okay.
They're for me. Frank, brother, settle it for me. I want to buy wireless headphones. What should I buy? Honestly, if you need to do wireless, I would go with the Apple Air Pro Maxes. One more.
Okay.
Ariel, what's your all-time favorite interview? Now, they didn't specify interview you've done. Maybe it's just an interview that you like.
Wow. I don't know that I've done. You stumped me.
All right, tune in next time to
No,
the answer
I'm
to your
thinking.
question.
I'm thinking. They're tough. I love the walk and talks. The Rampage one in Japan was great. Connor in Dublin was great. Bisping in London was great. John Jones in DC before their fight at 182 was great. And there's more that I want to do. And we shall be doing it with Uncrowned Films. We shall be doing it. I see Sleeto says, good luck on your fight against Cheetah Ariel. Thank you, my friend. Tomorrow on the program, guys, it's another great day. We'll have the aforementioned Sean Brady. So looking forward to that. He'll be on. A young man named Steven Spice. He's the star of a documentary that's out right now on Amazon Prime called Supercar Saints. Daniel Cormier's in it. John Cena's in it. He's a budding wrestling / combat sports YouTube journalist, and he's got a very heartwarming story. So he'll stop by. Danny Garcia, DSG, Danny Swift Garcia is going to stop by to talk about his final fight this weekend. Jeff Pearlman, who is one of, if not the best sports book authors, if that makes sense, in the world. He's written incredible books on the LA Lakers, on Walter Payton, on Brett Favre, on so many topics. He wrote the book called Showtime that became Winning Time on HBO. He has a new book out that's called Only God Can Judge Me, about the late, great Tupac Shakur. So he's venturing out of the sports world. And then we'll wrap up the day with the one and only Diamond Dallas Page, DDP, the master of the diamond cutter, bang, the originator of DDP yoga. He'll stop by. So what's that? 3 in-studio guests, plus Brady and Spice. Another great day on the program. Then New York Rick and I are taking a bit of a road trip.
Wait, what?
Yeah, but more on that to come. Sorry, you're not invited.
I see that.
You get my music, though. We got a soccer game to go to.
This is our music?
Wow, that's me. Damn.
You're probably, in this picture, you're trying to figure out what Rick is wearing.
I'm not. I look very thin in that picture. Golly. I was very thin back then. Around, what was that, 2014? Around 2006, 2007, 2008, I lost a lot of weight. Like I lost like 50 pounds. I got on a very strict diet.
Claire says back then you look better too.
Really? I feel like I look like skin and bones. She thinks I look better there than now? That's a big problem.
She's confirming.
Wow.
And then your son, Walter, is saying your nose looks a little bigger there.
Okay, yeah. Maybe with the
I
face.
think it's the angle.
The face filling out makes the nose stick out more. Or less, I should say.
Either way, looks great.
This is life, you know? I'm a lot older now. What am I, what is that, 11 years ago? That's crazy. Almost 12 years ago. Also crazy. Anyway, it was a great day here on the program. Great trip down memory lane. Great to have the kiddies here. Great to have Mikey Musumeci clearing up all kinds of things. Stop reading the comments, Mikey. And don't eat raw pasta. That seems weird. Thank you very much to Paulie Malignaggi. Good luck to him this weekend. Great chat there. Thank you to Cory Sandhagen, as always. And thank you to the great Ian Machado Garry. Thanks to all of you. Thanks for all the questions. Appreciate you very much. Thanks to all of them. Back tomorrow, same time, place, destination.